Weird. No worries. We'll keep it going. So at this point, Ron is with the warrior facing the mage. And yeah, there's no easy way to finish the side quests, right?
No, the 3/2 elemental completes it on its own, but with the other minions in deck, it's pretty tough. You don't really want to play the elementals to complete the side quest. The mana cyclones are really good for the cyclone turns, obviously, and the mana giants will be good with conjurers. So I think we'd like to see a confection pickup here for Cookie. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
But he chooses to lay the sorcerers out as well as the Chenvala, just getting some board going. And if RonMexico's answer is he can punch it and Blade Storm, which kills his own minion, but it clears the board. It takes the one sorcerers away from the mage and as well as the Chenvala. So I think this might have been a little unnecessary from Cookie's end. The the warrior can just answer this very cleanly with what's in his hand.
Yeah.
And then now he has to wait and draw some more cards before he can go again.
Right.
The lab partner pickup is all right with the cram session in the hand, although he may choose to not play it as the AI and ping fills the curve a little bit nicer.
Yeah. I do like the AI and ping here. There's no real need to rush. This does mean you're going to overflow, right?
Yeah, he is going to burn a card, but I guess the potential card draw so that he can get something going sooner rather than later. He values it over
Right.
the one card. So as long as Sorcerers doesn't get burned, I think this is okay. That'd be really tragic if that's what was the next card in the deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sorcerers losing your second sorceress is going to hurt a lot. You really need apprentice in this deck. I'm still shocked that they didn't choose to nerf apprentice of everything they could have nerfed for this deck.
Yeah, I think Sorcerers has a lot of problems it creates with just being able to place however many spells in one turn, as is always a
Right.
problem with zero mana cards. Wouldn't be surprised if it was on the Hall of Fame list
Yeah.
for sure. Right. This is a good clear plus development from the mage. It will
Yeah.
empties the hand, gets it looks pretty good. I think the warrior shouldn't have any problems dealing with it.
No. Shield Slam is a great answer to that 3/6. You can just shield block, shield slam, and you'll be fine.
Yep, punch the minion off, clear the board again. You have the Deathwing in hand for in case. I think it could answer a Mana Giant plus one Conjurer's Calling if necessary.
Yeah.
There's almost no chance that both the minions or one of the minions is gonna. Well, it can have a Death Rattle, right? But there's no 12 attack minions other than Deathwing itself that you can get off of Mana Giant.
Right.
Right.
The Kargath is also really good here.
Kargath pickup is huge. It can answer a Mana Giant as well on its own. And it's just a really big threat. A mage is going to have a difficulty actually just removing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we see a scam card pickup off of
Yeah.
the studies. Always good to discover more of those.
Yeah.
So how slowly do you think Ron is going to take this? Do you think he's going to just ignore this 3-2 and try and save his resources? Or you think he'll do something just like slam the Kargath down and try and stick that on the board as a threat?
You do want to kill the Solarian if you can.
The spell damage in the mage can be really scary sometimes. More so in like the
Yeah.
early turns when they can cram session, right? But still, there's a lot of
Right.
random spells that can deal some damage with that extra spell damage.
Right. At the same time, Kargath Prime is such a good card. I don't know how much you want to waste it. Ron choosing to go with the Deathwing. I don't think I like this too much.
No, I feel like the Kargath Prime provides the same thing, except the Deathwing has better utility later for the
Yeah,
kind of boards that the mage could generate.
exactly. I think the Kargath Prime is just... I hate saying this because it's an 8-mana 10/10 rush, but I think that's weaker than the Deathwing for this
Yeah,
matchup.
I definitely agree with that statement. Definitely going to have to see this get freezed if we don't kill it, because leaving Deathwing on the board is never a thing you want to do.
No, that's
So,
one of the ways to lose.
so we see this Evo in Cookie's hand. I don't know how hard he wants to play to getting that better. Like if he wants to go for some hand dumping, or if he plans on saving like the Mana Giants for some more value later on. The vape pick is interesting. It'll let him not do anything for the rest of his turn, but I don't think that's a thing you want to do. That's a banking on Ron not playing more minions, which seems very helpful.
Right. So you could go for a Battle Rage here.
Yeah, the Battle Rage drawing 2. Is there an answer in our hand other than Kargath to this Mana Giant, though? That's the problem. If we Battle Rage and don't find an answer, this Mana Giant gets to stick on the board.
Right. Ron is
Which,
not running Coerce.
So that means Shield Slam would be the only answer, unless Zephyrus is active, which I don't imagine it is. I think he has a duplicate Bloodsworn in his deck.
Right.
So, yeah, just dropping the Kargath, getting the Mana Giant off the board now. I think it was a good play.
I think it was. I think it's a fair point. It's also another target that just can't attack. If that attacks again, it's not about the armor, it's just about the fact that it's a 10/10 and it can go face.
Exactly. So it looks like Cookie wants to set up this Mana Giant plus Conjures. So
Yeah.
it draws him 3 cards, which does this. Only has 1 spell left in his deck. Okay. Okay. So I imagine that this 2/2 always trades into the 10/2, and then we will discover a spell damage minion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then hope that we start drawing Solarians so that maybe we can get something going, or at least Sorcerers. Sorcerers would be very good as well. Very good pickup. It's very interesting that the side quest proc only drew him 1 card, meaning that the rest of his deck is entirely minions.
Right. So we're expecting to see Spell Wings, we're expecting to see the Elementals. Just a lot of cards that will put bodies on the board.
Yeah. And then we have the warrior side. He's thinking about going skipper.
Yeah, gaining a ton of armor can't hurt.
And he has this bulwark to, if he wants to throw it up, it heals him 12. essentially, assuming these minions do go faced, and if they don't, then it's fine. The charges are still there. And this Battle Rage, though, huge value, drawing him 5 cards, refilling his hand.
Oh yeah.
I think this is really good for Ron. Really, what he needed to do with this turn.
Yeah. It's not active yet, the Zeph. So I wonder which duplicate has Ron yet to draw.
I think Bloodsworn is the last one. There might be another one, but it's Bloodsworn's definitely the
Bloodsworn and
neither
Brawl.
are in hand. And Brawl, yep.
Yeah.
So
Having
I think
two
Cookie.
Brawls
Yeah,
really good here. Go ahead.
yeah. So Cookie needs to start thinking about what he's going to do with if a Rattlegore comes on the board. He's got a couple
Right.
freeze effects now, but he may be thinking that he needs to find a way to like randomly generate a polymorph, because otherwise that thing is going to get so much value and it will just lose him the game. So we'll see how he goes about that.
Mm-hmm.
This always feels so bad, having the bulwark up and having to punch with these high attack minions into it, just dealing no damage. And then
Snap Rattlegore.
throws down the Rattlegore. And he's also got to be afraid. Cookie doesn't know that there's no Bloodsworn in hand, but a Bloodsworn on this Rattlegore is just so good. So I
Yeah.
think transforming it now is quite necessary.
You can also make it a 6/6 really quick if you want to, which is quite a good option here. You're going to lose your whole board, and that's the big downside.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're just going for a full face swing. It would appear.
Yeah. This removes most of Ron's armor.
Yep, this is a really good push to face. He needs to get him down while he can, so that maybe he can get another swing in with his board and then discover some spells to end the game. But this Brawl, after the counter spell tested for by the Corsair Cache, it's gonna really reset things for
Yeah.
the Warriors side. And the Zeph still not active.
Nope.
Yep, Mercenary, both of them in the bottom 7. Oh, there's the poly. That's great. We needed that.
Yeah. So now Ron's win condition must be fatigue.
Yep.
That doesn't look horrible right now.
No, he's ahead in fatigue by 1, or behind by 1, I should say. But he's also got a hero power that gains him 2 armor versus a hero power that does 1 damage. So
Yeah.
I think Ron has a chance. He needs to not draw any more cards, though, if that's what his plan is. Otherwise, he'll regret it later on when he's ticking for 5 and 6 in fatigue.
Works against me.
But yeah, I'm kind of liking Cookie's position in this game. I think he's got a lot of threats he can put down, and that Ron will have to answer them, and then eventually Ron will just be out of answers, and he'll be able to stick that last minion and jam face until the game is over.
Yeah, I think so too. This is looking. I mean, the mage has the cards to punish control, and it seems like this is just what we're seeing.
And if all else fails, we have the puzzle box in the hand. So you've never lost while puzzle box is in the hand. It could easily turn the game upside down. It could also do nothing or kill you.
Yeah.
All of the things, but just having in your hand makes you know that it's not over until one of you is dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Ron's maybe thinking about between Brawl and Barrow. He likes to go with the Brawl, thinking that
Yeah.
he might be able to shield slam off the minion that survives.
Or just not care about it.
Yep, or he could choose to ignore it. Depends which minion live. This 4/4 is not that bad, so I think he can choose to just take the armor.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
you think we slam Solarians, or do you think Cookie's got something else in mind?
What makes something
So you could just go with the Jandis plan.
Jandis is really good
Solarian.
stats for sure.
Yeah, Solarian is a cheese card, so it could just be a fun cheese time.
I can imagine that this turn involves icicling the 2/3. But yep, just playing your hand out, pushing face, killing minions on board seems pretty standard.
Yeah.
Sorcerer is still in the deck, one of them. Can combo really well with this Evo eventually.
Yeah.
Still no Bloodsworn for RonMexico. 5 cards left, and Zeph's not active.
Yeah, you can bet that it's going to be. I mean, it's definitely going to be in the next 4, so you can assume that's a really high chance in the next 2.
Yep.
Giving you quite a good margin here.
All right. I think we're gonna see the Draconic Lackey come down from
Yeah.
Ron. Holding it for in case maybe a combo with Silas. He wants to trade the 1/1 for a minion on the opponent's side, but he has another evil quartermaster in hand, so I'm not so sure that's what he's thinking.
Right. Solarian. There's a good chance we see Solarian either this turn or next. And it's such a random card because it can give you draw. And any draw right now is going to hurt CoookieMonst by a lot.
Yeah.
one
We don't want to
Yeah.
see draw from this, but luckily only a couple of the spells we can see draw. Most of them will deal damage to the opponent's face or minions, our own minions now that there's none left. And yeah, I think okay.
That's pretty good.
Um,
That's as good as it
Ron
gets.
Ron is really going to be sad that he's out of Blade Storms now. So these 8/8s with no active Zeph,
No.
they're going to be on. They're going to be sticking around unless he pulls something off with this evil quartermaster here.
You're going to need to either get lucky with the Draconic Lackey, go with the Quartermaster for luck, or get a Silas in.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're able to do the Silas. I think taking 17 is or even more than that. Was it 18? Is a little too much. I don't think we have the fatigue advantage if we're taking 18 this turn and are down that much in HP. But we'll see.
Yeah.
These dragons, not the best. Not in this
No.
scenario when you're facing down so much pressure on the other side. But it
Seems
looks
like the
like
Silas is coming down.
the Silas will be coming down. Hopes that maybe we see a trade from the mage, the 8/8s. I don't think Ron will be so lucky, but he can hope. Cross his fingers.
Yeah,
And
that random grand finale was really insane.
yeah, that's probably the best spell he could have gotten there at the end, short of
Yeah.
somehow killing his opponent.
Yeah.
All right, this is the turn. Let's see what's in the box, or this box, the Evo box. And all right, so we just play 0 mana spells. I could see a Mally or a Kirin, or any of these are reasonable, honestly. I think minions are just good. So however he chooses to go about it, I think it's fine.
Yeah. A 4/7 body is also not the worst thing that could happen. But he goes for the Mally.
Do you think we're going to see this Massive Cthulhu get played for potential 10 damage to the face? Or are we just gonna Apexis Blast? There's definitely minions in the deck. We know that. We can't play this
Yeah.
other secret since it's already up. So we will Mask of Cthulhu with pretty decent outcome, I'd say.
Yeah. Ron really looking to draw this mercenary because otherwise it's going to. Oh,
There it
there's the
is.
Zeph. So he can
So,
nether now.
yep. That looks like the only reasonable option. He could brawl and hope he wins, but that seems not what you want to do, since your opponent's at 26, having a 3-2 at risk of just losing the game. It's not really worth it.
Yeah.
He's hovering over some other cards though. Nope, but decides to play the finally active Zeph. Oh, can't even play the brawl. Doesn't get offered. So
No, he could have played the Blizzard, but that looked really bad.
yeah. Yep. All right, we have a 4-12 potentially. We can slam on this board.
Yeah.
You think we get any value out of this 5 damage on the Mali, or do you think it's just a 4-12 for us?
Well, you can always find crazy stuff with the puzzle box.
We could use the extra spell damage to kill our own Mali through the puzzle
Yeah.
box. Yep. But yeah,
There's also one less fatigue card with the Solarian. That's a pretty
that's
important
true.
thing.
That's true. We finally have both the Blood Sworns in hand. What exactly do we have that we can Blood Sworn, though? We have this
I'm not
Kobold
sure.
Sticky Fingers, or this Evasive Fey Wing. If they stay on the board, it's probably what he's going to have to target with it. Otherwise, he's just not going to target anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, we see the Mage finally in fatigue, except not because there's Solarian on the board. Picks up the Learn Draconic, which gets activated off of Puzzle Box. Probably won't matter, but who knows? Okay, this is cheeky.
Yeah, this is a really cheeky play.
I
Does he
like
get to
this.
7?
Not quite. I think just the possibility was really good,
Right.
but also being able to clear the minions off with the missiles, the +5 damage is really nice. I imagine he wants to swing face, but he can also swing into the 5-3. There's no silence in Ron's deck, so I think it's okay that this 3-2 stays on the board.
Yeah. So you can clear here. You're going to be hit immediately with the Solarian Prime, which probably means you're dead, but you can clear here.
Yeah, I think he's just going to have to hope. Clear and hope that the Solarian Prime does not mean he's dead,
Right.
because he doesn't have much option.
I'll show you who's boss. Your flaws are your strength. Your flaws are your strength.
Finally, we see the Blood Sworns coming down, copying some 5-1 untargetable dragons.
He can't armor.
And
If he armors, it won't work.
correct. And now we clear the entire board, including our own. And may the Solarian casts AI 5 times. It has to be really unlucky for Ron to win from this position, I'd say, or for Cookie to lose, rather.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no way for him to remove that. So
No. This makes the mage win.
There you go. That was a very long and thought out
Very
game
long.
from both sides.
If it wasn't for that grand finale, though, that would have been probably a win for Ron.
Yeah, the Slayer and Prime can do some pretty crazy things. Usually it's
Yes.
not making a board like that, but sometimes it is, and that's just the way the
Yeah.
card works. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not seeing it as much as we were before.
Oh, yeah, being able to drop it on 7 was usually just such a good swing. I think having it
Yeah.
at 9 is definitely more reasonable.
Forever, I am your better artist.
And I've been hit with it on 6 before with a coin, and it's not fun.
So we're now seeing what is the OTK Demon Hunter from RonMexico. It's tied
Yeah.
1-1 versus the Broom Penflinger Paladin from CoookieMonst. Who do you think's favored in this matchup?
The Paladin is pretty good against the Lifesteal Demon Hunter. It's the Lifesteal Demon Hunter, in my experience, can win depending on whether you can get a really early combo. Usually means you have Bulk Health, but it's hard to say. You need to discount the right cards.
I think it's important that the OTK Demon Hunter in any matchup has stuff to do on the early turns. So having
Yes.
card draw in hand is really good. Not having the
Yeah.
entire combo in your hand is usually a big problem with the OTK Demon Hunter. Is just having cards you don't want to play, and then your hand gets really clogged and you're not doing anything. So I think it's good that Ron has this 1-1 to play, and then he can follow it up with some more card draw.
Yeah. Do you want to play the Og Merchant here?
I think we can draw with the Chaos Strike, and then I think depending on the draw, it might be reasonable to play the Og Merchant. It can trade up into a minion that's maybe off of First Day at School, or I wouldn't say the Salad's Pride. You can trade it with the 1/1, but I'd say against Pure Paladin more, it's important that you have minions on the board. But with his Moon Paladin going into turn 3, I think it's okay to hold off for now.
Right. I agree.
The double Aldor in hand for the Paladin is really good. You always want to see that card.
Yeah. That's it's the card that wins the game a lot of times. If you can play that early, you're just going to get ahead so fast.
And so I imagine that next turn we're going to be seeing a coin Aldor and then another Aldor that follows up, unless something seriously changes with how this game is going.
Yeah. Spectral Sight is pretty good. Getting some draw, getting closer to that Skull of Gul'dan.
We can see the Imora might be able to just play just to take the damage off the board. If he expects some buffs, maybe he could choose to play it, but no, he thinks these 2/1s, they don't do that much, and the Imora will be just as usable later, so I'm going to hold on to it.
Right. Checking out the list, we know that there are 2 Consume Magics, so that's really good against Paladin.
Yeah, being able to silence the card draw, I think it's really really underrated. Being able to silence a Salhet's Pride, that really slows down the Paladin side.
Yes.
Then their top decks, they're basically on, I wouldn't say top deck mode, but it opens up a lot less options since Salhet's just draws into even more draw. But just
Right.
silencing the Librams too are good. Stop them from pinflinging you in the face as much.
Right.
But we see neither in hand right now, so I think
No.
just clearing off this board and setting up the weapon is decent.
Yeah, this looks fine. Could go with the Twin Slice next turn, could go with Acrobatics. If you top deck Skull, you just slam Skull, because that's what you're looking to do with this deck.
Sure. We see the sticky fingers in this OTK Demon Hunter as well, yet Ron elected to ban the the shaman. So what do you think his thinking was with having sticky fingers in his warrior and in his demon hunter?
I think he was looking for Bomb Warrior.
Stop my work.
Because he's
Yeah,
committing to it, but not enough.
yeah. The warrior and the demon hunter both are pretty unfavored, I'd say, against bomb warriors. So I think putting a sticky fingers in there could really help out in that matchup if it were to come up. Which unfortunately
Right.
for him, it will not be against Cookie's lineup.
Nope.
But nope, we see the demon hunter doing what it does, drawing cards. No skull in hand, unfortunately. But
No skull. No.
and there's some pressure coming down in the form of this 6/6. But I imagine Ron can and will remove it with his twin slice, heal back
You
up.
can either go Twin Slice or take the Outcast of Consume Magic.
That's true. If he outcasts the consume magic, he only needs to twin slice once to no, that's not true. Twin slice twice.
No, but he can
Still.
go face in that case.
But yep. You see this imprisoned Gnarg on the other side. It's a really good one drop if you don't actually need something on the board immediately.
Right.
It's a fireball for 1 damage in a way.
Yeah.
Or fireball for 1 damage, fireball for 1 mana. But the Libram finally in hand, Penflinger as well.
It's interesting how this is not a playable warrior card, but it's really good in Paladin.
First day at school makes a lot of 1-drops pretty good, even
Yeah.
when you don't actually want them in your deck. Just having them to play, follow the curve, play them on 1, generally pretty good. Fireball should be the pick, right? Just neither of those other options really do anything.
I'm going to throw the
Right.
book at you.
Thing to think about though was with this Wand Thief, if you found something like Deep Freeze, that almost completely shuts down the Demon Hunter, unless they run Blade or Net Dance, which RonMexico does have 2 of in his deck.
Mhm.
Okay, I wouldn't say shuts down, but it makes their healing capabilities very low
Right.
and makes them easy to die. I wouldn't say shut down. You can still, if he draws the combo, still kill his opponent, which is what your main goal is.
Right.
So, do you think Ron is in a good position? How many combo cards does he currently have in his hand right now?
He has the combo, but well, he can play 24 damage quite easily. The issue is just mana right now. He needs to survive for 2 turns because he never got Skull.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's gonna choose to take the 1 extra healing because with his current hand, he can, if he drops the Fell Screamer next turn, he can Il'gynoth and then double Moarg, which is 6 mana, play a Ethereal, make it 7, and then play a Fell Scream Blast, which should be 24. And it's as long as your opponent is under 24, then you're good. The problem is we can see in Cookie's hand that he can heal himself back up to 26, which is really awkward for the Demon Hunter because 24 is generally the break point you want your opponents to be at.
Right.
Job's done.
Right.
So I'm kind of liking the position that Cookie's got right now, especially with this
Yeah,
fireball and 2 Penflingers.
Cookie seems very ahead right now, and it's not easy. There's no great play for Ron here. He can play to survive with the Fell Scream Blast,
I grow
but
impatient.
without the Blade Dance, and many people are cutting it as it's not as good as it once was, you can't really do that much against this board.
No, looks like he might have to expend some of his combo, get it out of his hands so he can survive, and then try and redraw more in these upcoming turns.
Yeah.
Yep, choosing to get some healing. Uh,
Not enough though.
no, it's not looking like it will be enough for Ron here. Uh, some misordering. Could have healed a little bit more. Uh, he doesn't know it, but we know that there is lethal in hand.
Yeah,
So
that fireball.
looks like this one is going to the Paladin.
Yeah, it is a favorable matchup, and you didn't have the best Demon Hunter card in Skull of Gul'dan.
Yep. It's always rough when you don't find the 6 mana, gain 3 mana, draw 3 cards. Really, really
Right.
crucial.
Right. So we have CoookieMonst's Rogue versus Demon Hunter, which is the OTK, and the Control Warrior.
Uh, Lotus, what kind of player are you? You say you're let's say you're down 1-2 in this position, and you have a good matchup and a bad matchup into your opponent's last deck. You cue the good matchup first and try and ride the momentum of a win, or you cue the bad matchup first to try and get out of the way.
So it depends on my circumstances. For THL, you should always skew the good matchup first,
Yeah,
because you
correct,
want to
correct.
rack as many points as you can.
Yeah, assuming the
Um,
amount of game wins don't matter.
yeah, if you are in just a tournament, an Open Cup or something, I personally like queuing the good matchup because I like to pump myself up. I like to feel like I can do this and then try to do it um more than just go and say I'm going to be a pessimist and just put my worst deck because I need this to get through. How about you?
I'm definitely the opposite. If I'm gonna lose, I want to lose now rather than lose later. And so if I just cue
Okay.
the bad deck, the bad matchup for sure. And if we win, then that's great. If we lose, then oh well, we were gonna lose either way, right? That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
But let's see. For the road, we have some stunners and the secret up, which is an early plagiarize. I'm not sure what he was hoping for with that.
Right.
He gets this
Certainly
Ankar.
not that. I don't think you care about Ankar.
No, I don't believe there's pirates in the rogue's deck. You do I do
Um,
see a Tenwu though, which
there's
is
a
a bit
Tenwu.
peculiar.
You're not playing Prize Plunderer. That's a hard word to say, or a hard card name to say. But if there was a Prize Plunderer, that was a pirate. But there are no real pirates here.
Yeah, I find this play draw very interesting. I think he played on turn 2, so he was hoping that Ron on uh Ron on his turn 2. I don't know, what does a warrior do? He plays Corsair Cash? I don't think he really wants that either. I find it really
No.
interesting, this choice to
Um.
just drop the secret like that.
Yeah. The best option to take would be the Evil Quartermaster. You would want. Well, it's not that you want it, but you would take an Evil Quartermaster.
Hmm. Now Ron doesn't have to play around the plagiarize anymore. So, in case later in the game he doesn't want to give his opponent a rattle gore if it gets to that point, now he knows if a
Right.
secret's up, he can just drop it down and not be afraid of Cookie getting one for himself.
Yeah. And Cookie has quite the value hand here, just being able to get 2 lackeys from that secret passage and add the miscreant. Also, removing the prep from game so he doesn't draw it later.
All right, I think it's a little early for this, but obviously Cookie doesn't plan on taking this warrior to fatigue. So
No.
it might matter later in the game, but I don't imagine with this rogue that we will be seeing fatigue being a factor.
Yeah. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Cookie is a very experienced rogue player. He climbed really far with this list, if it's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that sounds right. You can see is both players with their 1,000 win portraits. So they've obviously
Yeah,
got a little experience on both their
yeah.
respective decks. So does this feel like a Jandis turn to you, or what would you do?
Um, I kind of want to get the Miscreant now because Jandis with Evolve is so good, but I could also see just playing the Jandis and Shadow Stepping it.
Yeah, the Shadow Step on the Jandis is pretty good. It puts out a lot of bodies for cheap, especially when it costs 3 mana instead of 5.
Yeah, this is a pretty bad Jandis though, because your opponent has so many good ways to answer it.
Yeah, the 3 HP on both the minions lines up pretty poorly with this 3 attack weapon we have equipped. How do you
Yeah,
feel about this pirate on the other side of the board? I feel like it's really strong, just as a standalone.
I agree. The 2/5 just does so much work. I really like the card. It's just a really strong card.
Especially, I think against the evolved shamans, it really soaks the 4 attack weapons and then still is
Yes.
alive. It can often heal them for like 8 health. But
Yeah.
here we're just going to see it probably trade into this 3/3 unless we choose to play the Kargath, in which case we'll make that trade instead.
Yeah, and I think we're fine taking 5 damage. It's early enough. Rogue does have some burst, but it's not a crazy high amount.
No, and there's no eviscerates in this rogue list either, so the amount of reach it's going
Right.
to have is pretty limited.
Yeah. For sure.
Before, when I saw these kobold lackeys generated, I thought they weren't that good, but being able to ping off the Kargath protected by the taunt seems pretty decent currently.
Yeah. Could just shield slam that questing, which I kind of expect to see here.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable answer. Get it off the board, be able to trade up with these other minions if you desire, and draw cards, and yeah, seems like a
Yeah.
very clean answer.
I mean, the strength of the current Control Warrior, something interesting about it is, I think a lot of it is motivated by the fact that you have such strong draw engines that it's just really hard to run you out of cards as a control deck. So you have the resources to clear like 30 times because you have cards like Cutting Class, cards like Shield Block, and cards like Battle Rage. Just a lot of drawing is going to end up winning the game.
For sure. So we see another questing turn. Uh, Cookie hoping that maybe this one finds a way to stick around, although the uh, the brawl in the hand is telling us that most likely won't be the case.
No, I don't see it sticking. So many ways to clear depending on draws that looks super unlikely to me.
We see the Alex Straza in the hand. Uh,
Too soon.
Pretty decent. It, in a way, deals 12 damage to the opponent as an 8/8.
Yeah,
I think it's
and it's
very reasonable.
unexpected.
Definitely.
So how
So we,
does Alex interact with Bulwark? I think it just sets you to 15 independent of it,
I
right?
assume it sets you to 15. It doesn't actually like deal damage to you. So I assume that there's nothing special.
Right. I just want to slam Deathwing. What do you think?
Yeah, slamming Deathwing. It sticks around. It clears the board. Seems really, really good.
And Brawl has so many good targets. Deathwing here looks perfect.
The Rogue's best answer to Deathwing is a Blackjack Stunner, but a 2 HP Deathwing that just makes you feel pretty bad, especially when it can go right back in the hand and the battle cry just goes off again.
Yeah, returning Deathwing. Deathwing, I wouldn't get to say it needs to be nerfed, but Deathwing is a card that it would probably still be playable at 9.
Oh, for sure.
So I think I would still play it. In this case, you kind of think, do you really want to stunner him? Do you want to put a very playable card back in your opponent's hand?
Yeah, and no secrets in hand means that stunnering him is not even an option. We might have to face tank 12 if we want to remove this Deathling from the board.
Yeah, you could play the Ankar here for the removal.
Yep. Yep, Feral Cat first could get a rush, the Restless Mummy. Although healing is alright. The Warrior is not going to kill you even if you're at 10 HP, but it's just 6-drop. It's pretty decent, I'd say.
Yeah. We could just see a Risky Skipper, Armorsmith, Quartermaster, Battle Rage here.
Yeah, I think the Risky Skipper, especially on the Jandis board, is pretty good. And drawing some cards, getting some armor, sounds like something Ron would like to do.
Yeah.
And now
Do
that he
you
knows
play
which
the
minion is real. Does he overdraw doing this? He
does. Do you
does.
care?
I don't think you care. There's not like a certain card you need in this matchup to win.
No.
So I
A
think
certain
taking
card
the
you
burn
want.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
really want the Bear of, though.
that is true. But both questings accounted for. Edwin's left in the deck still in this random dragon. We see Alex for 6 healing. Oh, that I take it back. That's one card you don't want to burn.
Yeah.
Uh,
How do you feel about taking your opponent's Alex?
I feel really good about that. Now the question is, does he give him the armor smith or does he give him the quartermaster? Probably the
I would
armor
actually,
smith, right?
I would give him the Cobalt.
Ah, yeah. I guess we value the armor up instead of giving him a 1/1 less in stats.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. The both shadow steps are gone, so if we're afraid of him shadow stepping this 2/2, it's not really a thing that could happen. So
No. And it's not a great Shadow Step target. 3 armor is, even if this match is seeming like it's going to be a bit more, even if it seems that this match is going to matter more for lackeys and armor, it's not that important.
no. I think our turn we want to end with taking this Alex off the board because dying is not what we want to do. So
Yeah.
we're
Do you want to kill the Silas as well?
well, not anymore. I think that spells that the secrets that we got are more or less unimpactful. The plagiarize is in the hand, so that's pretty decent. But the secrets we have up, I don't think will matter too much. Just depends how Ron decides to try and play around what they could be.
Yeah.
And surely he removes the Sonar one way or another, right?
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't.
He's got so many answers. There's no reason not to. It's just infinite value otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's okay that he just throws down this Barov. I think that he's got enough answers for other things that it's perfectly okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much I like playing the spell there. Because you know it's likely to proc the spell.
This might be interesting. The Vargoth has potential with I'd say a Wand Thief, but it's not in the hand. And playing the secret is actually bad with the Vargoth, since it tells you
Right.
what the secret is to your opponent. So
Yeah. And backstab's going to hit your own guys.
Yep, that's also not what you want, for sure.
So I think he's just going to go with the Kartut here.
Yeah, I could see the Kartut trade off the Risky Skipper, or maybe he wants to hero power and get rid of the Armor Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what his long-term game plan is for winning this game. He might start thinking for fatigue, but if he does, he needs to be able to remove the Rattlegore from the game, which he can only do through Wand Thief into, I would say Polymorph, or there might be more than that, but that's what comes to mind immediately.
Yeah, it's poly and devolving missiles.
Yeah, devolving as well. But yep, dropping the Ferrocat like you expected.
Yeah.
Funny thing to note: this Alex Straza in Ron's hand, costing 10, and on either person they play the effect on is actively bad, although not like
Yeah.
the worst thing in the world, but not helpful.
No. Definitely don't want it to happen.
No, he has his hands so full. He has so many options for what he can do. I don't think he needs to drop the 10 mana Alex at this time.
No. I think right now you might want to evolve. You could probably just evolve your Quartermaster into something better. Or something worse.
Or something worse.
Um
And armor up, pass. It's a classic
Yeah.
warrior turn. With the Witchy Lackey, of course. So that Zeph I saw wasn't active, is that correct?
No, not active yet. This time the card stopping it is good luck. I think it's Bladestorm.
I believe as well. I don't think we've seen either of them.
No. It's a good backstab.
There we go. We tactically hit the opponent's minion instead of our own. I approve.
Yeah.
The sticky finger value. This is the best we could have hoped for when playing the sticky finger as a 5-mana
Right.
4/4. But yeah, he has so much HP. He can take it slow. No need to clear this measly 7 damage board.
Yeah, I think you're totally fine just taking it super slow. If things get a bit worse, you're just gonna brawl.
Yep,
Right
any
now.
more extension on the board. And Brawl is ready. Hot and ready.
Yeah. No more Jandis. Any of the draw cards are just going to put CoookieMonst really close to fatigue.
Yep.
Care to make a wager, friend?
But CoookieMonst says no, I need to draw more cards. And what do you think he's looking for something in particular, or just more options, or what do you think his plan is?
The Edwin is a possibility, but the chance your opponent has removal is almost 100%.
Yeah, not sure how he plans on winning from this point. He has Edwin as a big threat, right? But then after that, what can he do? Like Rattlegore comes down, and then what? You can sap it for one turn. And I did not think about this either.
I did. This is not good. It's not what you want to happen.
Yeah, is there a way for him to shuffle more cards into his own deck?
Well, he can generate with the
Like
spell lackey. He can generate what's the name? Togwaggle scheme.
Tog's scheme? Yeah, I don't think there's a way for him to put enough damage on the board and not just die to fatigue first. I mean, there's no way that he ever makes a board in the next 3 or 4 turns that stays around that's meaningful. So
Right.
I'm not
We
sure.
see 2 brawls and a Bladestorm. So worst case, Ron is clearing.
Yeah, and we have the active Zeph. And Bulwark for even more heal, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see how Cookie decides to play these turns out.
Yeah, this is an
Oh,
interesting turn.
I
Well,
see how he wins the game. Oh, okay. He's okay. This is probably smarter that he thinks that he plays for fatigue, and so he chooses this
yeah.
for the Rattlegore. The problem is
Yeah,
he's
it's
way
probably
behind in
better.
fatigue, and he's way lower on HP.
Choose soon.
So I can't. I'd imagine he does the 10 move on the Wanty, but maybe he has something better in mind.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, one thing to keep in mind is if he somehow gets Evo, he can try and empty his hand as best as possible, Evo, and then Secret Passage so that he keeps the spells in his hand.
Right.
It'd have to be crazy, though. Crazy spells in order for that to do him any
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. This is a smart move, playing the lackey first so you can proc that ambush that you know is happening.
Yep, sure. This is really, really nice order from Ron. Makes sure that the reborn mummy doesn't come back as well and kills the 2/3. I think it's looking really good. Really good clear.
Yeah. You could play a minefield if you're worried about Foxy Fraud. He doesn't want to keep taking 4. That's fair.
Yeah. And this minefield might not do much more later. But better than moving a 4/3. If there's more than 5 HP on the board, it might as well just kill nothing and do nothing. So I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Right.
Alright, this is where we find Power of Creation, which it's got to be the Death Rattle, right? You need the healing because you're not going to kill your opponent. It's not happening. And the sticky minions are also
Charge is
really good.
not helping. I'm wondering whether he wants to go with the beast for some reason.
No, I can't. I can't imagine a reason why you'd ever want the beast, but maybe he thought about it.
Yeah, I can't think of a good one either.
He could choose the Blade Storm next. Not sure if there's many threats left in the Cookie's deck. He probably, Ron probably knows that there's very limited things that he's going to want to Blade Storm anyways.
Yeah, it's really whatever can come out of those lackeys. Or the
Yep.
last one thief, but that's basically it.
So we're going to see these. We're going to need something incredible out of either of these. Or we are CoookieMonst.
The spell lackey is one of the things you're looking for, as well as the primordial studies.
Yep. More discover is always good, especially when you need some direction. Oh, we return it all to our hand and try again.
Yeah,
Out of cards.
I like it.
Yes, I think we can do this all game until the game's over. Oh, he chooses to play the 1/2 again. Get some pretty terrible options. Those were all not good.
No.
Neither of these.
Choose soon.
So how careful is Ron going to be with plagiarize?
He probably does one thing, which is playing this Alex and nothing else. So, yeah, Cookie needs to find a way to remove this Alex that isn't just evolving missiles. Because he needs to save it for the Rattledore, which is not even in Ron's hand. Otherwise, he's never going to win it. So, we'll see.
That's a miscreant with some more stuff.
Okay. The Temple lackeys are not what you need. Not going to cut it here. Bamboozle. And maybe, Mally, these are this is not it. I'm not seeing a world in which Cookie ever wins this game anymore. It looks like it's Ron's game to win.
Yeah, this isn't looking great.
Do you imagine that we see like a test for counterspell and then okay, the Blade Storm is also an option, but Zeph for an AoE? Oh no.
Oh,
We
that's good.
make an 8/7. This is better than all of
I
those.
like it.
These are you just get tickled by these minions. So I think this is better. This is really good, really good.
Yeah, this is stronger. CoookieMonst doesn't have too many great ways to deal with it. Devolving isn't
He's
great because you
hoping.
can generate good stuff.
I bring life.
Yeah, this game is over with Zephyrus, I'm sure. The 7, yep, Zephyr for burn is
Or Flare.
or flare. That's true. Chooses to do this instead.
Well, Zeph can give
Secret
Wind
is,
Fury. Oh, Wind Fury wouldn't work because of Spellbender. He knows
yeah,
his
yeah.
Spellbender.
So I mean, I'm sure this is Zeph lethal. I mean, it's 8 plus 8,
So
which is
you
death.
could Shield Slam Zeph and then get the Wind Fury.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take that.
Yep. This will finish this game very nicely for RonMexico on the controller, bringing it to
Yeah.
2-2.
Feel the power
Oh,
of the wind.
the Spellbender didn't even matter because
No.
Wind Speaker isn't the spell.
Right. You do need to play around it just because Zeph is sometimes a little funky. And
Yeah,
so you want to make
yeah.
sure you get the right options.
Yeah, Ron was making sure that it was set up completely obviously that Zeph could not possibly miss it.
Yeah. Now we have the OTK Demon Hunter versus the Rogue. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think the double consume magic might be very important for RonMexico in
Yes.
winning this game, especially if we see an early questing or Edwin come down from the rogue side.
Your
I'm not sure whether he'll choose to like hard mulligan for it. I don't imagine, but if we had seen it, I imagine he would have kept it.
Right.
The hand from the rogue, though, doesn't have much going on, although that's a very, very nice draw. And this is for Ron. This is the kind of thing I was talking about. He's got 3 other combo pieces already in hand. Now you can use them for non-combo. Il'gynoth is really the only minion that gets stuck in your hand that you can't play before killing them.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst thing in the world, but
Well, we see a card there that could be what they're looking for. It's the easiest way to win as a rogue. But no great way to play it.
so you draw this questing adventure and it's turn 3. You could play it as a 2/2, but that dies to so many things that the Demon Hunter has. Just a weapon or a twin slice. So if he chooses to play the
Yeah.
questing, I don't imagine he doesn't play anything else with it. He's got to play more.
hit you.
But it's probably just safest to wait at least one turn.
Right. I don't mind playing it super slow here.
Yeah, the Demon Hunter not doing much yet. Not that they ever really do, but this weapon up though is a little scary for the Rogue. It means that they have blade dances which can actually do more than 0 damage, which is always a little scary. But
You could go for a prep 1 thief and see if you can get a 1 or 2 cost spell, so you can go for that
yeah,
Edwin early.
yeah, this definitely looks like an option. Otherwise, if he wants to just drop the questing and play the Wand Thief, see what the spell is, cut that out is also an option. I think
Mm-hmm.
both are completely reasonable. The secret passage in hand too means that next turn he'll have something to do if he chooses to spend a couple of his cards now and live. we'll uh, we'll see how he chooses to do it. Backstabbing first is interesting. He wants
Yeah.
to discover in case he doesn't hit a cheap spell, but
Right. There's an Encanter's Flow, which is kind of awful,
yeah.
but something you could do.
Okay, this is C puzzle box, Bix puzzle box. Do
Yeah.
you think he plans on saving the prep so he can play this puzzle box on turn 8? Is he already telling us that he doesn't think he's winning this game? Is
For
that what the
stream
puzzle box pick
purposes,
is? For stream
I
purposes,
like
that's right.
it.
Paid actor.
Yeah.
Demon.
I kind of just want a Spectral side if I'm Ron here. You could also just Hero Power Blade Dance.
I think killing the Edwin is very good. However, killing the Edwin also means that you are not getting the extra draw, but uh, you can, in theory, draw more cards because you take less damage from the Edwin, so you're just alive longer in a
Yeah.
weird, convoluted way of thinking.
Give me a
Sure.
chance.
We will see another board refill from Cookie.
I'm going for that secret passage, hoping to get some 2-cost cards, a Swindle, just anything really that can be
Shadow
played.
Steps. Hopefully, anything, something here. Yep. And
Oh, there's a Hanar.
Zero mana Hanar is always really good too, just to have in your hand. So
Yeah.
I think this turn worked out really well.
Yeah. That's the power of secret passage.
So now that we have the 6/6 questing on the board, what does Ron have in order to answer it?
It's more complicated than it seems. He could go. It's not really a way to answer it right now, is there?
Not without playing combo cards that you really don't want to play. No. He might Spectral Sight for one, but the problem is if that doesn't give him an answer, this may grow bigger than he can answer next turn. So
Yeah.
looks like he's gonna choose to remove it one way or another.
Okay. It's a lot of
Yeah,
cards.
yeah. I don't blame him. The questing based on his hand, if he didn't get rid of it now, it's gonna be an even bigger problem. So
Right.
it was a necessary action to burn some of these cards that you want to kill your opponent in order to stay alive.
Right. So this is a really strong draw from CoookieMonster, CoookieMonst, just getting everything he's needing right on schedule.
Mhm. The hand is looking a little dry, but just a secret off the top or a secret passage or even a swindle would be really good. So as
Yeah.
long as we don't see like a backstab draw into, I don't know, I'd say another backstab, but we've already drawn one of them. But just dead draws, I think the rogue is fine.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds we see this prep puzzle box come down on turn 8?
It actually looks really good to me. As long as you don't, depends on your draw.
All right. Well, that looks like a card that we want to play.
Yeah.
And picking up, like I said earlier, Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze is really good. And you could play it this turn with Prep, or we can add
Right.
another one Thief to our hand.
Yeah. Ron has also been having a lot of trouble doing what Demon Hunter needs to do, which is top decking Skull.
Yeah.
This is the pro tip if you're playing Demon Hunter, draw Skull. That's pretty important.
Yeah, generally, playing the broken cards in your deck wins you the game. Let's
Right.
see Bog Spine Knuckles and Shaman.
So many options.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like one skull draw and it's just nuts for
Yeah.
Ron. Although with this puzzle box in hand, I can't really say how. Oh, speaking
There it
of,
is.
he heard us.
And
He
just
knew.
flips it.
Poor warlock.
0 mana Zeph, not bad. Okay, not the best hits, definitely.
I kind of want to use the consume magic for draw here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's saving it for. The second questing adventure, which seems like there's not enough cards for it to be that large, so I find
Right.
it interesting. Interesting hold.
Mm-hmm.
So we have in
So
our hand Ethereal, a Moarg, but no Il'gynoth, no Fellscream.
I
no.
grow impatient.
But we have the damage minions, just not the damage, I would say. So choosing to
Yeah.
remove the board, play the weapon,
You
tempo the Zeph. How far off is that Zeph from being active? It must be more than just one or two cards, otherwise I don't imagine he
There's a
would have
twin
just delayed it.
slice. Look at the list. There's twin slice and
And I-Beam?
So many.
no, I-beam has gone.
Oh yeah,
It's
you're
just
right.
twin slice
It's
and
just
chaos
Twin
strike.
Slit?
Chaos strike.
Okay, Chaos Strike. Yeah, that's the other one. Maybe he's just afraid of this 4-1 being on the board, because the only way he can answer it is playing Og Merchant or punching it, which both things he doesn't really want to do. Oh, but this Kobold Lackey pickup is quite good.
Yeah. I
Got
think
a
he's
nice
paying for
board.
the fact that he didn't draw with that consume magic.
Yeah, I agree. I think this Consume Magic looking pretty dead in the hand right now. What is this Rogue Secret? Dirty Tricks? Sure. I don't think Ron really cares about the cards in hand of his opponent. More so concerned
No.
about the board right now.
You could go for a Fell Screen Blast because that would get you 2 draws or even more.
He plays the Fellscreen Blast, and then he has to try and kill his opponent through either I-Beam plus like keeping the Eldraki up, like with some twin slices, or otherwise, yeah, that's really the only way. He's used both of his Fell Screens, so he's gonna have to go for some Plan B kind of things for winning this game.
Yeah.
And what do we like from the Rogue here? Is this a questing secret passage turn, or do we like playing the cards in our hand?
Give me a quest.
I'm fine with questing Secret Passage. You definitely want Jandis. Jandis is missing from this game, and it would have been a lot less trouble if you had Jandis before.
Yep, yeah. A lot of playable cards we got here. So this
Yeah.
questing is going to be pretty big, and it's important that we're able to kill off the Moarg, because Moarg on the board is quite scary. He could just drop the combo, a combo down, not the combo, a combo if it's left up on the board. So, yeah, this turn looked really solid. It's a very threatening board coming down for CoookieMonst.
Yeah.
Finally, playing the Consume Magic. Getting this questing into a reasonable kill range with an Immolation Aura, which is not actually in the hand.
No, but now it is.
And now it is. Playing the outcasted skull always feels bad, but it was definitely the right option here. He needs
Don't
to
think
draw
I
this
like
Immolation.
this.
His opponent is board locked, so there's
True.
no way more damage. Basically, no way more damage because it's coming on the board, and then the Immolation Aura next turn does the same thing. So I'd say this is quite reasonable from Ron, especially if he thinks that he has counted the damage up and that this will work out with like I-Beam and Il'gynoth and Twin Slice. Oh, but we see the puzzle box because puzzle box.
Yeah. We've been looking forward to it.
Well, that's not what. I mean, that's what you want to see if you're Ron. RonMexico getting healed and the rogue taking even more damage. Oh my, this looks like a game-losing puzzle box if I've ever seen one.
It does.
Cards.
There is
Ron is not.
certainly enough damage. Not that he knows what the secret is, but if he plays the I-Beam before attacking, he'll know. And, the game is kind of over.
Yeah.
And even if he just plays the I-Beam and attacks face, it's also over. So it looks like Ron has actually pulled this one off. The puzzle box pick from turns 4, 5, 4, I think. Not doing what you wanted to see.
No, that was exactly the opposite of that, and this makes Ron, our THL champion, get to the next round.
All right. So we're going to take a look at how the bracket's looking so far, or what is the plan there?
Yeah. Sure. Meanwhile, I just want to congratulate Ron for winning this match because this was tight. Okay. So, taking a look at the brackets, the following results are what we see so far. First, Eggowaffle beat Tincho 3-0. GarkGus beat Mad Doom 3-1. RonMexico just won against CoookieMonst 3-2 and was probably holding back all the other matches. And SnakeFawdz beat Linthesis 3-0. How do you feel about this, Agent?
So first glance, it looks like House Rivalries beats TDF, and then we see Liga beat Mad Doom, who's OSC. And there's a lot of 3-0s I'm seeing here. And also with SnakeFawdz from NPH beating Linthesis from Swagoy. So I'm really happy to see my boy SnakeFawdz repping NPH, getting to go against our other THL friend, RonMexico. I'm ready to see a good fight in our next match coming up here.
Yeah. SnakeFawdz is also a THL player, if I'm not mistaken. So it's nice to see our representatives going on. So is Eggowaffle, for that matter. I don't know if he's still playing, but he has.
Yeah, I think he's former THL. I'm not sure he is actively, but he is definitely a well-known face around THL.
Who is the NPH representative?
SnakeFawdz.
Okay, so we're going to have THL versus NPH here.
Correct. This is
Oh, this
the
is gonna be
battle we were
fun.
looking forward to.
Yeah.
SnakeFawdz may not be the most well-known of the standard players here, but he is quite a good wild player. He he's won some big wild tournaments there. So he's decided to step up to bat in standard and see if he can adapt on the fly here. I believe in him.
Sure. So we're going to take a quick look at decks. Let's start by looking at SnakeFawdz lineup because we were looking at Ron's for quite a while. So he has the Enrage Warrior without the ETC package. He's going for the Grom list. How do you feel about this list, Agent?
Yeah, I think the ETC package itself is people are getting a lot better at playing around it, like with the matchup itself. And unlike ETC, you can't really play around the Grom or Corcoran as you don't need anything on the opponent's board in order to make it work. But the combo itself doesn't do quite as much damage. So I'm thinking that any warrior v warriors might be a little tougher for Snake. But if there's any aggression, it should be easier to shut down with the Enrage package that he has going in here.
Yeah. I think the only thing I really like about the ETC list is playing Broom, because Broom is good in every single deck you can play Broom. And it's a lot easier to fit Broom when you're bringing ETC combo. As for the Paladin, we have just standard Libram Paladin, one Hammer of the Naru, and one Avenging Wrath. What's your thought on Avenging Wrath in this deck?
I think Avenging Wrath is interesting. It's reach for the Paladin. However, in Penflinger, I'm not sure they need the reach, as the Penflinger combo itself should already be enough. We'll see how he chooses to use it though, but I'm a little skeptical for sure.
Yeah. We have the Hunter, which is a face Hunter. I thought this deck was dead.
It was dead, but you know, maybe Snake is the one to bring it back to life. It could do really well against some matchups like Shamans,
definitely,
and Rogues. So definitely, I think it has some potential just within the current meta that we're seeing here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Toxic Reinforcements coming back, because that card has become too slow for face hunters, surprisingly, and it's cool to see it here.
Yeah, I think an important thing to note is this face hunter doesn't run cards like not Pack Tactics, the Scavenger's Ingenuity, which really makes your minions really powerful. And so I'd say the old face hunter decks that we're seeing pre-nerf, they were more aggro hunter, right? It relied on having a lot of really good minions on the board versus this deck with the Toxic Reinforcements and no Scavengers is a little more face than the old decks.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even playing Demonic Companion or just the Petting Zoo. Really good cards for face hunter that just help you have an early board. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I fully expect a Shaman ban from Ron. However, maybe Snake chooses to leave the Shaman up. I'm not sure.
It's hard to say. Shaman is the thing about Shaman, especially in a legacy form, is that Shaman has that chance to win. If they get the weapon and you don't get removal, they're going to win. It's really hard to stop them unless you're a hyper aggro deck that can kill them by turn 5 or something.
Yeah, for sure. I would not be surprised at all to see Snake show some respect to the Shaman as well and just ban it out.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to take this time to do two things. One, I want to ask everyone who is here, if you would like to subscribe, it helps keep THL going and get many great shows for you. It helps with community tournaments. It helps with other tournaments, other events, just running the series as a whole. If you're new to THL and you're watching here because of the community tournament, first of all, welcome. THL is a league format series where everyone gets a chance to play independent of your level, depending on the series, and you just get to play against great opponents, make friends, practice in a competitive format. I'm sure someone in chat can do a better job at explaining what THL is than I can. Yeah, so if you don't know us, please message people. Tuna, I think Tuna is watching, so Tuna can be in charge of. I'll just name him out, single him out here. Tuna's just going to tell you what THL is if you do not know. Okay. So we have the Warrior band for RonMexico and the Shaman band for SnakeFawdz. So not a huge surprise here. The Control Warrior really likes facing a lot of these decks. Paladin versus Control Warrior. His Paladin seemed fine, but I can see why SnakeFawdz would not have wanted to face that. Just as a reminder, Ron's decks that are left are the Evolved Shaman, the Secret Rogue, and the OTK Demon Hunter.
Yeah. I think the shot or the warrior band is reasonable from Snake. He knows his warrior is pretty weak into the opposing warrior, and the face hunter is probably going to really struggle too with the life gain that has available to it.
Yeah.
And I think our players are going to be starting any minute now.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be getting ready to go. Any expectations, any thoughts about this whole match? What's it going to be like? What do you really expect to see here?
So I think it'll be really important that the Snake's face hunter gets a win, and it needs to get a win before before too many of RonMexico's decks get out of the pool. Because I think against Rogue, it has its best shot. I don't know if it can keep up with the healing of a Demon Hunter. And then Shaman, it can also do well too. But if Shaman wins before the Face Hunter gets to queue up into something, then it's going to be like, well, can Face Hunter beat OTK? Can it beat Rogue? I think I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it first.
Yeah, we are going in here. I think for me, I want to see how Ron gets the Demon Hunter through. That's the most important part of this match. But Demon Hunter, especially Lifesteal, can get that OTK going. We're going to start here with quite the interesting hand for Ron, as his Secret Rogue is facing the Paladin.
This is the I really want to draw Edwin hand because I will win the game.
Yeah.
Versus the did Snake mull in? I'm guessing he mulled into the Avenging Wrath, but otherwise the hand looks decent. He's got a 2 and Saul Hets on 3 is always quite good. Looks like Ron did actually go for the full on. I want to play Edwin on turn 1 by keeping the. Or no, he had 2 Foxy Frauds, didn't he? So he needed a Shadow Step and Edwin in order to do that. But there he is.
Right.
Quite a presence when you play him on turn 2. I would not be surprised if that is what Ron chooses to do.
Yeah.
He can coin the Wand Thief, play Foxy, step it, Foxy, play Edwin if he chooses. That'd be the best stats. but he can also choose to wait a second because this Paladin deck
Choose soon.
might have Barov in hand, or no?
I
He
don't
just
think he
chooses
needs
to do
to
it in a
wait.
different. He just chooses to do it in a different order. Is all. Same
You don't
outcome.
really
Just
keep Barov.
Snake acknowledges that he doesn't. Not having Barov is not what he wants to see. 12-12 Edwin, turn 2. Very
Yep.
skillful from the rogue. I would have done this myself if I if I was in his position, for sure.
Yeah,
No. How do you feel about him
that's.
playing the Salhets and not maybe looking for an answer off of First Day at School? Do you think First Day at School might have been a reasonable thing to play there, or do you think it's just not necessary with like this Penflinger in hand?
I don't know if. Yeah, I would keep it with a flinger, and I don't know that first day of school has a great answer for a 12-12. You might
No,
be
I
able to
think
delay it.
yeah, Wand Thief or a Taunt are really the only good, not even good with the Taunt, but answers to a 12-12. So he was probably
Yeah,
just hoping that Barov finds its way into his hand quite soon, or else this game will be over by turn 5, turn 6.
right.
Secret passages for a secret.
Yeah,
Choosing the dirty tricks because his hand is looking a little dry, doesn't have an actual turn next turn, doesn't want to just drop a miscreant, and the other cards cost 5, so
mm-hmm.
not the worst thing.
No. And getting that dirty tricks out, you do need draw at this point. Your hand is pretty bad. If you're Ron, you did go for a kind of sacrifice when you played the Edwin, just going for the I'm either going to win because I have a 12-12 on turn 2, or I'm going to lose pretty consistently if I don't have a hand at the end.
Yep. Uh, Especially the way he played the Edwin. It didn't really like draw many cards for him or generate cards. It got him this one, the Pexus Blast, which is it's okay. It's
Yeah,
it's not the best. It see Paladin, you can expect them to play the 4/6 taunt on turn 5, and so you really want it to deal 6 and not 5. So if he has a weapon up, he can maybe preemptively put the weapon up, and then he can go punch a Pexus Blast so that it connects face. And he doesn't really have a better option, anyways. So that's what he'll choose to do.
yeah. No Libram of Justice even, so it's no great way to clear this Edwin.
No, and even if he does clear the Edwin, this Apexis Blast just is lethal damage.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not sure there's a combination of cards that Snake has in his deck that can save him. Although this Voodoo Doctor is part of the equation for staying alive.
Oh, the
No,
Libram is
not
too
in there.
late.
Yep.
Well, Edwin doing it again.
Yeah, that's just the power of this rogue deck. Is sometimes it just gets those free wins by playing the big Edwins as soon as turn 1, but more likely turns 2 and turns 3. If your deck can't
Yeah,
answer it, then
yeah.
game
How
over.
long since Edwin has been out and they have not nerfed the card yet?
Uh, Too long, that's for sure.
Definitely too long.
So that was quite a fast. Up 1-0
Yeah.
for Ron. Going with the Evolved Shaman here versus the Enraged Warrior. Do you think the Enraged Warrior is going to be able to keep up with this Shaman, assuming the Shaman is able to find the weapon, or do you think he's going to really need to hope that no weapon comes out for
I
the
think
early
you
turn?
need to hope no weapon comes out. This deck, there's the strategy for it. It's all about the weapon. It's like you hard mulligan for the weapon or the 2-drop. You just go for the weapon because once you get it, you win.
Correct. Yeah. the deck is just terrible on its own, right? Without the weapon, you're running
Yeah,
3
no, there's
mana
nothing you can do.
3/3s and 4 mana 4/2s, and that sucks. But when you draw the weapon, your entire deck is nuts. It's like upgrade all the cards in your deck when you draw the weapon. So
Yeah,
if I
it's
were
just
wrong, I
everything
would,
is better.
yeah, definitely. So if Snake can get these early turns like up to turn 5 without seeing a weapon played, I think he'll be in an okay spot.
Yeah,
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
And this Reaper Scythe is interesting, right? It might be able to
Made to
answer like a board of evolved desert hares from Ron,
right. Yeah,
but we'll see. Maybe Ron doesn't even get to evolve his desert hares, and it simply comes down as a 4 mana 4/3 weapon, which has some synergy with the cutting class and this random green skin that Snake has picked up
right.
from the Skyrider.
I believe Ron is also playing the pirate list, so we might see some pirate synergy cards here, which would be really cool.
That's true. That's true. The brigand getting pulled by these dead horde pillagers in hand. Um, how much draw do we have in RonMexico's deck? Is he light on the draw, or has he got a little bit more going?
So let's see. Does he? If you play the pirate list, you usually don't play novices.
Yeah, that makes sense. So cage match is really the only thing there.
Yeah. Well, you have 4 cards in a deck of 20, so it's a 1 in 5 every turn.
Exactly. You don't need that much draw, right? Because most games you will draw the weapon
Yeah.
by the turn you need it. However, there are some games where this happens. But
Could go
Ron,
for the coaster.
yeah, this coaster could be pretty impactful. He's got some Mogus he might be able to play alongside it too if he wanted to.
Yeah. Is he playing? Let me check his list. I wonder if he's playing Revolve.
Yeah, looks like he's playing 2 of Revolve. Maybe
Okay,
hoping
so
road matchup and just the way he built his deck, it's a little bit better than usual.
yeah, that is a way you can win. If you revolve stuff like Mogu, it's really crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Desert Hares and Mogus are pretty decent revolves, and against this board, revolving it is not the worst thing in the world.
No. You can also just drop the coaster here and say, I'm going to trade into everything, play my Mogu, and you already wasted your effect on your weapon, so I'm fine.
Yeah, and then we can even see, Mogu, he can trade, he can coin this revolve out, I suspect, and should make the board a lot better than it is, just a bunch of 1/1s and 2/3/2s. I think that punching the bomb is really interesting if he plans on playing the revolve, so I suspect he won't.
Oh, he doesn't have the revolve though.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that would be difficult for him to coin a revolve, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if he had it, that was a game-winning play.
Yeah, that was game winning. So really, he just has to play his cards for tempo right now.
Yeah.
Hope that maybe some stuff sticks so that his weapon draw is a little bit impactful. Because the longer it takes for him to draw it, the more Snake is going to have to get time he has to get through his deck and just kill
Yeah.
him. So, see a battle rage for 2, and the war maul to clear off the 5 mana minion, which is quite good.
That is really good. Slurper is not what you're looking for here.
Not at all.
I'm looking
Maybe
for
he
some
can
lag.
find something. Okay, that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
And
Serpent
this, however, Serpent Shrine, yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. It can answer a minion, summon you something. And the overload doesn't matter, right? Because it's not like you're really spending all your mana in a turn anyways. But instead we choose to play the 4 mana 5/5. which feels really bad.
Yeah.
At this point, does Ron have much of a choice? Can he just hold all the cards in his hand? Seems like he might not.
He needs the weapon or a revolve now. Otherwise, this is not
Yeah.
going to be a win. The weapon is still the best choice because
I'm gonna
it's
be
most likely
honest.
enough.
You can discuss all the plays you want for the shaman when they don't have the weapon, but if they don't draw the weapon, whatever they do is most likely just gonna lose. But there is the weapon, but is
Yeah.
it too little too late? We will have to see. Can
You
this
can get the
down?
pirate and the Mogu out.
All right, I think this is the last turn that we could have gotten it, I think. So
Yeah.
we're gonna need at least decent minions. They don't have to be the best ones, but as long as they're okay, I think Ron might be fine.
Yeah.
Although there is the Barov in hand for SnakeFawdz, so that would be interesting to see how that lines up into the board that Ron evolves into.
Right.
What to do?
So we're thinking about not trading the 2/2 in for the evolve. Yeah, I like the
I like the trade. I think it's fair.
yep, taking more minions off the board, getting some damage in. Evolves into very susceptible Barov minions. So
Yeah.
not what you wanted to see if you're a snake. Evolving into a Colossus of the Moon or the 7/7 Death Rattle summon
Right.
7/7 would have been very bad. But this is this is pretty all right. I think Snake we might see him jam face with this weapon. He might have some respect for the 2/1, but he's got Gromash in the rage in hand, which is a lot of damage. So I think getting him
Yeah.
into lethal range is exactly what he wants to do.
You can go Serpentine Desert Hair and then hope your revolve gets you a taunt in case you don't have it, because you know you're going to look for a taunt. I
Yeah.
kind of don't like the hero power here.
Do do you like holding it for maybe revolve if you don't get taunt, or at least hero powering after into taunt?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like that is all there was.
Yeah,
Snake
that's the
having the
Grom.
big reach, and Ron being just low enough to be out of this one.
Yeah.
And I like the double Grand Lackey Erks that showed up on the board for Ron and TM.
Right. Urk is such a weird card. They've been pushing stat lines for quite a while where you have a good effect, and it's like very fair stat line body, and then they printed Urk, which is a 4-mana 2/3.
Yeah, the real problem is its cost. It just
Mm-hmm.
costs too much, and as you said, stats are too bad. But maybe
Yeah, if it
evolving
was a
into it,
4/4.
it's not great either. But
Yeah.
now it's 1/1. We see the Enrage Warrior, just the classic Enrage Warrior, get through for SnakeFawdz, and
Yeah.
we are bringing it back with the Paladin, and now with the OTK Demon Hunter.
Kind of expected us to see the Shaman here, because the Shaman, it's just a good deck, and it lines up so well into this Paladin.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Shaman, although he didn't know that the Paladin was going to be coming out, it could have been the Hunter. So maybe he's thinking, okay, OTK Demon Hunter is good against Face Hunter and fine maybe against Paladin. You don't want to run the
Eh.
risk of just letting Face Hunter through. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how this pans out for RonMexico and his choice to
Right.
do this one up.
Do you ever just tempo Moarg here as a 2/4? No.
I don't believe you do. I think you can maybe get away with it against if this was a face hunter, maybe you could just play it 2-4, but against a deck that's not super aggro, it's really not what you want to do. Especially you got the Immolation Aura in hand, which really means that you won't be that behind on board because you can just play Immolation Aura.
Right.
How do you feel about this
do-
Spell Screamer in the deck? Or the 4/4?
It's good against control. If you're expecting to face Priest or other control decks, it's good. Against aggro, it's not that great. We are seeing the Allura first day of school, and that's going to give one of the worst options here.
Yeah, that with first day at school are the two ones you don't want to see. I suppose that's why he's running Avenging Wrath, maybe, for the Allura high roll, you could call it, onto that.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. What I do know is that there is a skull on the far side of
Yeah.
RonMexico's hand. And there's
And
also
you
a
have a
coin,
coin.
if it's so bold. There's also a skull on the other side of his hand, but I suspect that's never going to be active.
No.
So we can ignore it. Now, do we play it this turn?
Yes.
Of course we do.
It's a skull.
Of course. Now, what do we want to see? 3 mana cards so that we get maximum discount?
That Fellscream Blast is really good.
Yeah, hitting the combo is always nice. Means you can combo them earlier if necessary, or just do more damage.
Ron's getting really close to the combo.
Yeah, I see Ron has an I-beam and he has the Fellscream Blast. So I'm thinking that if he just has the mana, finds he only has one Moarg. So he just needs another Moarg, or he needs the Og Merchant, and then he'll be good. But this board is quite threatening, so he might choose to clear it, spending on Moarg. We'll see.
I kind of like just playing the Consume Magic here if I'm Ron. But that is fantastic.
That is exactly what you wanted to see. Not if you're SnakeFawdz, but
no,
it's not the worst thing in the world. Not that you're afraid of the skull discounts, but you already saw the weapon, so you can hope that not too much has been discounted. And you saw the Chaos Strike. So,
how
do you think the Paladin is going to be able to get this one through before just getting comboed to death?
Isn't looking great. It's really early, and you're already quite behind.
I think maybe if Ron just doesn't respect the board and choose to heal that, let's say there's how much damage? There's 5 plus 3, there's 8. And then there's 8 more from Avenging Wrath if the board is empty. So there's lethal in hand if nothing is played on board. No healing is done. Snake is alive. And so basically the Demon Hunter passes. Snake wins.
Can the Demon Hunter kill here? I don't think he has a kill yet, does he?
That's a good question. I wouldn't know. I suspect Ron has been counting for the last quite a few turns his potential damage output, and so I suspect there is.
I agree.
I feel like he's gonna do something, but he actually might not choose to swing this weapon or clear a minion off. So we'll have to see. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my god! Now the question is: the snakes see or the snakes?
Is it lethal though? You have a
Penflinger times 2 plus a Librum of Wisdom plus Avenging Wrath. Swing all face. Looks like exactly.
You
I
can
think
also
he's
play the Stone Tusk Boar.
yeah. I think Snake's just counting up. I think he might see this one. I guess that's the interesting about Avenging Wrath is it
Yeah.
a lot of damage output that you don't usually have to account for. And yeah, this is exact lethal right here.
Wow. That was a really tight match. Just one more turn, Ron would have gotten it, or if he'd chosen to heal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he could have gotten away with the heal or gotten away with not
Yeah.
healing, but he didn't. So I don't know. I don't think it was too bad of a play. It's just unfortunate that Snake
I
had the
like
perfect
going
result.
with a Blade Dance there, just because you can Hero Power Blade Dance that does clear.
Yeah, that is true. The thing is, he has the combo in hand, right? So it's super important that he just stays alive.
Yeah.
So maybe he should have tried harder to minimize damage, maximize healing, because if he lives, he wins, right?
Right.
So now we'll just have to see if the power of Face Hunter is real, or Snake is
There's
just not going to get there.
I mean that's a Warblade's Chaos Strike Twin Slice. There's nothing Face Hunter hates more than Warblade's Chaos Strike Twin Slice. It's just all there is.
Agree. However, they do have the toxic reinforcements on turn one, which, if you remember old Face Hunter,
Yeah.
is like the best thing you could possibly ask for, is playing it on one, although this curve is also very good. Going to be able to play Face Stalker and Hero Power on two to get the secret out.
Yeah.
I think
Looking
it's
at the secrets,
yeah,
it's Explosive Track and Pack Tactics and a Snake. So does line up pretty well into Warblades.
yeah, for sure. He chooses to take it one turn slower because he top decks a 2-drop, so he can get a tick on the quest as well as play Phase Stalker. I guess Secret doesn't do too much right now. So SnakeFawdz though he plays a lot of Face Hunter. I know that. So I would not be the one to question his plays since I definitely don't play the deck now that it's
That's fair.
not meta anymore. So I'm gonna assume that he knows what's up, and I don't.
Sure.
Although we see healing in Ron's hand even more with the eye beam.
Yeah.
And just get the Warblades up. It's a good weapon with the lifesteal, even if it only has 2 durability instead of 3. It's probably going to heal him for around 12 against the Hunter, which is really, really good at keeping him alive, the Warblades. And he also has the
Right.
Blade Dance so that he can kill off Snake's board without having to potentially pop these secrets, although it's explosive traps, so you don't really have to worry about it. But
Yeah. There's also the Consume Magic, which could be good to delete one of the Leper Gnomes.
that's true. It's a heal card in itself too, in a way.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ron use it like that either.
No, I wouldn't. Um.
Moarg is also great, just because it gives you more healing with things like Fell Screen Blast and the Eye Beam that's in hand.
Yeah. It's going for that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. The secrets can't punish him with this line, and having a 2/4 on board is it's not bad.
No, and he also knows exactly what those secrets are, just because of the way this is. There are only 3 secrets in Ron's deck.
Yeah. Yep. But we see the leper gnomes come down, and that's
Yeah.
6 damage on the board with a bow that has a lot of durability. It's about to get on it.
Yeah. Um.
I don't believe Ron plays ooze. Especially if you're gonna ban Shaman, it's not necessary, I don't think, to be running oozes in your deck.
Right.
But as you pointed out earlier, he elects to consume magic to heal 2.
Ooze is also great against the warrior 1/4 weapon.
Yeah, yeah. If they decide to just hold it until the combo comes down or is about to come down, and then you're just screwed because you have to wait 4 turns to pop their thing before you can actually deal the damage to them. So it was really, really solid there too.
Mm-hmm.
All
Going for some
right.
face damage.
Unfortunately for Snake, this hand plus this weapon for Ron, oh my,
Oh
line up
my.
very, very well together.
Yeah.
And the skull in the hand for the reload after it takes these 2 healing turns. I'd say it looks
It's a
really
lot of
good
damage.
for the Demon Hunter.
But Snake isn't really playing any card draw. He's not playing Reader ever since that got nerfed. So
Yeah, he'll have to hope that the damage he's dealing a turn is more than the healing that the Demon Hunter can put out. And so
yeah.
this last healing burst from Ron is really gonna have to be the last healing Snake sees. Otherwise, I don't think there's a way he gets there.
Right. This is a lot of healing.
Yep, back up to 16, negating the damage from some hero powers and the leper gnomes and
Tracking Dragon's Bane is
Dragon's
exactly
Bane.
what
Yep.
gives him a chance.
Now I assume you always take the guaranteed 5 damage to face, but does the math add up where you want to take the risk? I don't imagine so.
I don't think it does.
But yeah, this Dragon Bane is kind of huge. Ron doesn't have an answer in his hand. And even if he does,
No.
he takes a lot of damage this turn. So with the 2 charges up on the weapon, Ron's going to have to find a way to answer the board and maybe even heal a little bit. He's debating whether to go for the 50-50. If he does for some reason and he hits it, we got 6, 5, 2, 13, putting Ron at 3. Chooses not to. This is also quite reasonable.
Yeah. There's a skull. Ron has to go for it. And there's a free
And
Moarg. There's a philosophy
oh,
Moarg.
oh
That
my.
probably closes the game.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call this game over. That was probably the best things you could have seen come off of the skull.
Yeah.
Like the combo in this matchup doesn't matter.
No.
Because these 3/5s are on the board. You're at 26. It's yeah.
Yeah, and this was quite the hand for SnakeFawdz, but the Demon Hunter had 60 life.
Yep. Face Hunter unfortunately not packing the damage to kill the Demon Hunter twice.
No. And this boils down to Demon Hunter, or sorry, not Demon Hunter. This boils down to whether the Shaman can get its act together and beat the Face Hunter. And we do see already from the start, there's the little 2-mana 2/2 there that says, "This time I'm here. You can count on me."
He could also keep this 3/3. I'd say almost always you keep the 3/3 with the
Yeah.
cage match in hand, but maybe if you're against Face Hunter, you don't. But Ron says, nope, that's a 5-drop to go along with my weapon or a taunt. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
Is the score, is RonMexico up 2-1 or is it 2-2
They're
currently?
tied. They're 2-2 tied.
2-2 tied, okay.
Whoever wins this one takes the trophy.
That's right. SnakeFawdz got there with the Paladin, so yep, this is the decider. And Snake's just going with the board presence, trying to get early damage going. And it lines up
Yeah.
very well into this 2/2. You can just hero power it down and smack
Yeah.
Ron in the face.
At the same time, hero powering it down does mean he doesn't get to put anything else on the board.
Yeah, that's true. That's the one downside is you're
Yeah.
basically passing your turn, but this 4 damage is quite a bit.
So the question here is, does Ron revolve? I kind of like revolving here.
The thing with Revolve is there's 4 damage on board, and it's not guaranteed to take that much damage off the board. I mean, sure, this 0/2 might become like a 1/3 or a 2/2, but these other minions can easily become 2/2s themselves, and it doesn't
Sure.
do that much.
Sure. But I don't see it doing too much in the rest of the matchup either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He could top deck a Desert Hair or something similar next turn, but otherwise the Revolve, yeah, probably won't be seeing much play, or else other than just to reroll your evolves on
The
maybe
other
turns.
option to revolve is as an answer to toxic reinforcements.
Oh, that's true. That is a reasonable use for the Revolve, although I doubt that's what he's explicitly saving it for. But you
Yeah.
might see that happen once this Revolve or Toxic Reinforcements gets completed.
Yeah.
So if you're Snake, how much respect do you have for this 0/2 totem? None, right? Because you're Face Hunter? I suspect you don't put damage into it. Although
You did?
he chose to anyways, which is interesting. I mean, usually you always want to clear the Evolved Shaman's board, but the game plan of the Face Hunter is
Treasure? Loot? What's
to kill the opponent. So I guess he's afraid that the 1-drop will be impactful later on, more so. I don't know,
I
but
do
the
like this
4/2
play.
time, I'd like it too. Board presence, you're never gonna break the weapon and then need to play the 4/2 as the shaman. So I don't mind.
Yeah. I think you hit your 2/2 into the 3/2 and then play the pirate and Evo it.
and plunder.
Hmm. This is interesting order. Does Snake run freezing? He must not run freezing. Nope.
No.
So he chooses to evolve into 2 reasonable minions. I mean, the 4/4 is not the best, but this Kreen is pretty decent.
Ron is in desperate need of something, because there may be a Dragon's Bane followed by a tour guide, and that would be so hard to stop. As long as you didn't really get your power plays. You had the
Yeah.
weapon, but you didn't have Desert Hair.
Also, just the kill command with the beast in hand is it's a lot of damage. You can go through any taunts that might be evolved into. So I
That's
wouldn't be
true.
surprised if Snake just ignores this board and sets him down to 7 in some capacity.
Yeah, I really like just going tour guide Dragon's Bane and go face. Because I think if it hits face, you won the game. If you didn't, you're setting up lethal unless they get a lifesteal rush guy.
Yep. This is really good too. This is just the good form of setting your opponent to 7. And yeah, I cannot imagine what a Ron can do to save himself from this one.
Now this doesn't look great for Ron.
He can revolve, and then he can evolve, and he has to also revolve.
While
And
attacking.
yeah, he is immune while attacking. That's true.
if he remembers that, which some people would forget.
He needs to remove the leper gnomes from the board is the thing. He needs to
He has
also
the
somehow heal. Yeah. I don't know what card heals him at the end of his turn. Those are very good evolves, but it doesn't matter because he is at 2.
Yeah.
And then SnakeFawdz pulls it off.
Wow. Congratulations to SnakeFawdz and to NPH for making the finals.
There we go.
Yeah. And we will take a quick peek at the other match. Let's see the state it is at. I just want to congratulate SnakeFawdz one more time for making it to the final. So in terms of the lineups, SnakeFawdz is going with aggro. So let's take a look at what the players in the other side are bringing. Eggowaffle went with also the Paladin, the Librum Paladin, the Secret, or is this World Kick? It's World Kick Rogue, the ETC Warrior with not the aggro version, the control version, and the Control Priest versus GarkGus's Pirates Shaman, Bomb Warrior, Librum Paladin, and Secret Rogue. So this is an interesting choice. To see one of them without Hunter, or sorry, without Shaman as well, is really interesting to me. If we see a finals without Shaman, this would be the most surprising thing ever.
Yeah, that would be very, very unexpected, for sure. I'm guessing they're started already. I'm not sure exactly what the game score is since it's not been updated in Battlefield, but I can only imagine that they are nearing a finish.
Yeah, we'll find out the score for the other match.
Yeah, so it sounds like Eggowaffle is currently up 2-1 on GarkGus, and he is on Eggowaffle's on the Paladin versus GarkGus's ETC Warrior, was it? No, the Bomb Warrior versus GarkGus's Bomb Warrior.
This is a very Paladin favored matchup because Bomb Warrior isn't that great against Paladin. They just manage to heal themselves enough and keep themselves out of bomb range. Plus, the big bodies makes it just hard for Wrench Caliber to go face. And Wrench Caliber is a face weapon. It's not made to trade.
Yeah, sure. I think the bombs will not do quite enough with the healing that's available to the Paladin, and yeah, like you said, the weapon not being able to go face either makes the matchup pretty tough.
Yeah. We see a Wrench Caliber on 5, which is pretty good. Doesn't go face, but manages to kill its start. And Eggowaffle with the Allura and Limb of Wisdom.
And we see Allura being quite awful in casting the bomb from the deck.
Right. I had forgotten that interaction could happen.
Yeah, and the even worse part is that it doesn't even draw you the card since it doesn't count as a cast when drawing. You didn't actually draw the card. So, It's a little unfortunate, but I think Eggo is still looking all right currently. So, what do you think about the next matchup, assuming GarkGus pulls this one through, for the Paladin versus the. I'm not sure what the last deck is. It could either be the Rogue or the Paladin. Either of those. How do you feel about Paladin v Paladin or Paladin v Rogue?
You definitely want the Paladin v Paladin if you're going to choose between those. Paladin v Paladin, it's always going to be a 50-50 unless there are particular cards that can win you the game. I One of them went with the Devout Pupil build, the other one went with the Hammer of Naru. I don't see a clear advantage of one versus the other.
Yeah, you see the Murger McGurgle in the in GarkGus's version, which is pretty good just as it's on its own, but sometimes the Paladin matchups go a little bit longer, so you could see him draw the Prime, and that's a really nice board that you can get. Hard for Paladins to clear with all those Divine Shields and somewhat large bodies.
I think the card that to me makes a huge difference is the Argent Braggart. That card is really insane in the mirror because you can get their stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely make a lot of board swings or just solidify already big boards with the Argent Braggarts in GarkGus's deck.
Yeah.
But as we see with the current match, Eggowaffle's hand is looking a bit empty here. No Penflingers yet, but we have some
No.
Librams going.
Just really not a lot of draw right now. No profits. Eggowaffle just needs draw. That's all he's looking for.
It looks like this red scale Dragon Tamer, the new Murloc that we run in the Paladin decks, isn't going to draw anything since we've already pulled both of the Amber Watchers.
Yeah.
But the Brawl, clearing up the decent sized board and allowing Gark to swing face with his weapon and then clear off with a Blade Storm. If he so chooses. So I think a good top deck for Eggo right now could easily be this Libram of Hope. Makes a nice 8-8 with Taunt. Penflinger is all right, but not the best. You can't do much with it right now. Or just some more card draw in like the form of Solhead's Pride, I think are all quite reasonable.
Yeah. Just to remind y'all, Eggowaffle is representing House Rivalries, while GarkGus is representing Liga Ace Esports.
And we got more weapons coming up. We had two Libra Justices, which against the Warrior don't have many good targets. But
No, definitely not. It's basically Deathwing, and that's it.
yeah, Deathwing and maybe Dr. Boom himself. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Deathwing come down here or the Galakron because you can hero power and swing into this 4/6, clear it right off.
Yeah. Also, just get stuff for later. Start getting that hero power to go face. You just need to connect your attacks to face at this point.
Yeah, this 3 damage hero power is going to be really helpful because the armor at current state's more or less important, especially since there's no Penflinger whittling him down. Although now Eggo might be able to start doing some things, assuming he sticks at least one minion a turn and can start pen flinging and sticking buffs. But
Yeah.
Deathwing says no minions stay on your board. I have this big 12 attack minion that will die to Libra of Justice, but Eggowaffle's turn does not look the best. Do you coin up the hero power here?
Ooh,
Yep.
you just want to kill them fast. You don't want to give
Yeah.
them time to get the Adrin. You don't want to give them time to get Libram of Hope. Just that you don't want them to get stuff.
And there are quite a few decks, quite a few bombs in Eggo's deck. There's 4 currently, meaning Dr. Boomjaw would be fully invoked, summoning the 6 bombs, and that would be quite huge for the warrior. But even just all of them being in the deck, if he doesn't draw some healing soon, he will begin to be in death range. He already is in death range with enough bomb jaws, but
Yeah, one bomb is going to be enough.
yeah, no. But this Galakrond hero power really pushing the damage to face.
Yeah,
Eggo is looking in a very tight spot.
it's a 4 in 12, depending on how many minions come out of that Sawhead's Pride. That's a third per draw. A third is not great. I don't like those odds.
No, I would like to see the minefield from GarkGus just taking the minions off the board, drawing him some
Right.
cards so that more bombs are likely to be drawn, or just one bomb for that matter. And yeah, Eggo is going to need to be a really good bomb dodger and draw 2 Libram, or at least 1 Libram, and then find another one. And this saves him from like weapon re-equip plus hero power death with the taunt. So it's
Yeah.
not the worst, but it's no Libram of hope.
No. Well, you also know we know there's a coerce, so
Yeah, that's true. And there's the weapon re-equip, and there's the coerce, and there's the hero power, and no bombs necessary. The Paladin just didn't have anything to do. He was
wow.
kind of grasping at straws there at the end for good plays. So.
Yeah. This means this game also goes to the last match. Now, as an NPH representative, who is SnakeFawdz looking to face here?
Well, I can tell you that Eggowaffle is quite a good player. He nearly qualified for GM. He was just, I don't know, I want to say less than 8 outside of qualifying. GarkGus, I don't know as much about, but assuming he is equally, or maybe not equally, but nearly as skilled as I suspect he is, I think Eggo with his current lineup is actually quite bad for SnakeFawdz. So based on the person and the lineup, I think he wants Eggo to lose here.
Right. I agree. I think also based on the lineup, it doesn't fit. And Eggowaffle's scary. You don't want to face Eggowaffle.
But he did just take down RonMexico, who is also a very strong player himself. So
Yes.
it's quite possible for Snake to win
Oh,
against either player. Just he
that's
definitely prefer to see Eggo
yeah.
take the loss here.
I mean, Snake is a great player. There's no question there.
This Cleric of Scales is a very nice card to have in your hand.
Yeah. At this point in the mirror, you could go for the Libram of Justice. I think he goes for the Hand of Adal or the First Day of School to combo next turn.
Yeah, the Hand of Adal is okay, but you see the Hyad, the Salura, and then the
Yeah.
first day at school, and then that's just too good to pass up, I think.
Yeah.
We
This
see,
is fine.
yeah, those are two decent minions to get off the first aid school. They're not quite as good as the Clerica scales, I'd say, but
Yeah,
not bad,
but this
not
is
bad at all.
good.
Greatness calls.
So we are going to see the Libram of Justice,
It's
which
not the
isn't
one
what
you
you
wanted to see.
know. We've said this before.
Yeah, the worst one, arguably. He couldn't get first aid school off of it since he already played both. And you kind of want that card, especially just later in the game, to use to clear and swing the boards. So being
Right.
down one now is it's pretty detrimental.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, the weapon really doesn't matter. And here's an interesting card for this specific matchup. Silas Darkmoon. That card can be so good.
Yeah, just being able to steal the Libram of Hope summon is just such a big minion, and your hero power summoning 1/1s, it just completely can change the tide of a game. And also just taking the buffed minions from with the Libram, I think makes it really good in the mirror. Also, an important thing to think about is when you play Libram of Hope, it summons on the far right side, so it's kind of hard to play around the Silas if you're going to be playing Libram of Hope. And also, the hero power summons on the right side, so when you rotate the minions, you can't actually swap a 1/1 with the 8/8 Taunt Divine Shield. So it's not as good as you think it is, but it's still quite good most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the arcane missiles maybe making trades a little simpler, although those that did not look like the
No,
outcome
those
he
were
was
not
looking
great.
for. No,
Here just in time.
chooses to play the Amber Watcher to keep the minion alive and on the board.
Yeah.
And so, if you are GarkGus, do you want to play this Libra of Hope on one of your own minions, or do you want to hold it?
Well, I think you want to hold it. I don't think you super need it right now. That card is always good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Plus, draw is always great, especially if it's early.
He's looking to empty his hand a little bit. Maybe he's looking for this Liadrin coming up here soon, so he can maximize the spells return to his hand.
Yeah.
Although I'd imagine he'd choose to play the Libram of Hope before he plays the Liadrin, especially since
Yes.
there's no Penflinger in hand and having all the buffs isn't the best in the world.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. Um.
Hmm. I find healing the Allura interesting.
I kind of just want to take the 8/8 here.
Yeah, I felt like you could have healed your own face. Because the board probably gets answered by Libram of Justice, and
I agree.
so the health on the Allura shouldn't matter. But this is also Silas coming down. This is quite good for GarkGus. The choice to include the Silas in his Paladin deck, especially for the mirrors and against the Warriors with Revelgor.
Yeah. Um. It's a really good card in this matchup.
And there is no Libram of Justice in Eggo's hand, and he also burned one earlier from his
Yeah.
Allura.
His
So
Allura decided that he shouldn't have it.
he's gonna have to find a way to answer this board without spending too much from his own hand.
Right, and no broom either.
Yeah, the broom also preventing him from like playing the Libram of Hope and brooming, which the Divine Shield it trades into this other 8/8 without Divine Shield very well if he had a broom in his hand, which unfortunately is not there.
Mm-hmm. There's the Flinger, followed by the Libram of Justice. This is looking like a game here.
Yeah, I think GarkGus is really favored right now to win this one, unless
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Ego really needs. He has GarkGus has the refill in hand and the healing and the pen flingers, so it's looking like it's just going to be a matter of time for this one.
Yeah. Feels like Silas closed this game very cleanly here.
Yeah, it was just huge. It's basically 7 mana mind control. Get a 4/4. You
Yeah.
could maybe think of it as like a brand, except the brand takes your opponent's King Crush, which is a top with Divine Shield, and if you make that big of a stretch, it sounds really good.
Yeah. It does sound really good.
And as you can see, it was game winning.
Yeah.
But Ego, he still has the HP, a little bit of time. He can try. Probably be all in vain, but he will give it his best, I'm sure. Try and stick
Yeah.
this one out.
I mean, he can go with Sawhead Sprite, Libram of Hope. Just try to get a bigger board that can keep going face.
Mm-hmm. Probably looking for a Libram of Justice off the top, hoping his opponent does some trading, although it seems unlikely, especially since Penklinger allows a lot of clean kills on the minions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see GarkGus himself playing around the Silas, which is not in Ego's deck, but
Right.
if it were,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It's not going to save him. But yeah, I think Ego's
No.
digging now for Libram of Justice.
He needs Libram or Barov.
Or Barra. Barra would do it too, especially with this broom in hand. Although that is neither.
But that's neither of them, which means this is over. Congratulations to GarkGus. This means Eggowaffle's run is cut short in the Community Championship. And the finals is going to be GarkGus versus SnakeFawdz. So just taking a look at the bracket, we have GarkGus against SnakeFawdz. If you didn't watch the matches, it's been super hot so far. And we have quite the finals match for you. I don't know if we have a little time, but I just wanted to give everyone a reminder that if you're here and you would like to hit a sub for THL, it is definitely welcome. It will be used to running the multiple series from this league format series. So, as well as many events that are done, such as this tournament and website costs. So, if you would like to hit the sub, go for it. Also, if this is your first time hanging with DHL, welcome. I've already said what we are, but this is just, we're a fun community. We like to welcome players from every skill level. You can find a series if you would like to play. If you like Conquest format, closed deck list, open deck list, there's certainly a thing for you, even for Wild and Battlegrounds players. So if you're one of those, hang out with us. Just, you can message Tuna on chat. Just spam Tuna if you want to Tuna will be mad at me, but keep spamming Tuna as much as you want. Yeah. That being said, let's take a look at the deck list. So SnakeFawdz versus Eggowaffle. Let's take a look first at SnakeFawdz deck list. We have the Enrage Warrior we saw before, which is a list not playing the ETC, playing the Grommesh package instead. The Paladin, which is a Librum Paladin, the Face Hunter, and the Evolved Shaman. So going with a bit of a target Shaman strategy and bringing the Shaman himself because Shaman is kind of insane. GarkGus, on the other hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say it worked out pretty well for him last time.
Yeah?
Let's see, GarkGus, he has the Shaman as well, has the Bomb Warrior, as we just saw a couple of games ago. He has the Paladin, which is the Libram Paladin with the interesting Silas, which won in the game last time, and the typical secret variation of Rogue.
Yeah. Definitely. Sounds good. So we're getting ready for the match. Right now, it does look, we were talking about this before, it looks like SnakeFawdz, just because of the Hunter, seems a little bit favored, and because of the Shaman, but I'll let his NPH teammate talk to us this time.
All right, so with SnakeFawdz decks, I expect to, once again, Shaman gets banned, as most people other than Snake were planning on doing. And so that leaves him with his Enrage Warrior, his Libram Paladin, and his Face Hunter. And with his opponent, I can only imagine that he would like to ban the Warrior again, even though the Bomb Warrior is a little bit slower and actually doesn't run the Risky Skipper package as people have been starting to do. So maybe he can get away with not banning the Bomb Warrior, as he might be able to just kill it with his Face Hunter, as well as his Leyland Paladin and his own Warrior, for that matter. His own Warrior might not even struggle that badly, as the Bomb Warrior can put some pressure on, but if he draws faster with the Enrage Warrior, I could see him be able to get that through. And then we have for GarkGus left after we know we're not going to ban the Warrior. We have to think probably ban the Paladin. There's a lot of heal there, and it's really favored, as we just saw, against Paladins in the mirror. And Snake himself has Paladin. So I'm going to say that Snake probably wants to ban this Libram Paladin. It's got a lot of healing. It's teched really well for the mirror. And so he's going to be going up against the Shaman and the Bomb Warrior and the Secret Rogue. And so I think it will be really important, once again, as last game was, for him to get this Face Hunter win, although no OTK Demon Hunter this time. So he doesn't really have to worry that badly. Actually, I think he might be pretty favored with the Face Hunter going into this. So as long as Snake bans the Paladin, I actually think he might be in an okay spot.
Yeah, his Hunter seems amazing if he bans the Paladin. His Warrior also doesn't really want to face Paladin. And really, the main class that wants to face Paladin is Rogue and Shaman. So expecting a Shaman ban kind of means you want you don't want that Paladin around. Rogue can get a win anyways.
Yeah, for sure. I think GarkGus, he might be looking at doing well against Snake's Paladin, but if his own Paladin gets banned, then it's really only the Secret Rogue that kind of farms the Paladin. I wouldn't say Secret Rogue farms it, but very good matchup for him. So I just
Yeah.
think it's really important that Snake bans this Paladin if he wants the best chance to win. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the Shaman gets banned from Snake every time. I don't think there's much to talk about.
True. As we have some time before the match starts, do you want to talk about what is NPH, Agent PWE, just since we have time?
Oh, yes, for sure. So I am part of MPH. We are led by Kuda Pasca, or Pasca, as basically everyone else knows him. You can see him a lot on Twitter. We read a lot of the meta reports for what were the Masters tours before, and the Master Tour qualifiers, especially. They stopped doing those recently, so a lot of the conquest tournaments that you'll see coming up, we will have some at least lineup distributions and statistics coming out from those. And we also occasionally host tournament events ourselves. I think the most famous one was about a year ago. We had a 3v3 league, which was really fun. We had a lot of people playing in that, some organizations even. But I think it's just like a really good community if you want to improve your tournament metagame or improve in the tournament metagame. And you get access to a lot of really good resources, and everyone's really welcoming. And yeah, I think it's really helpful if you just enjoy playing.
Yeah. My first time playing in a NPH tournament or joining NPH was actually in the 3v3, and that was amazing. So, really great experience there. We do have the bans in. GarkGus had his Paladin banned, while FawdZ had his Warrior banned.
That is interesting. Is there perhaps some tech in the GarkGus lineup against the Shaman? Or does he just not think it's as good as we do?
Huh. I wonder. Because the Shaman does look great into everything that's left. The Enraged Warrior can be prayed by the Paladin and by the Shaman. The Shaman can beat Enrage if it can get started fast enough.
If it draws the weapon, then it probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, that's against almost anything, though.
Yeah, exactly. The Evolved Shaman is favored against everything unless it doesn't draw the weapon, in which case it's unfavored against everything. So,
Pretty
um,
much.
yeah, we'll just have to hope for GarkGus's and Snake for that matter that they draw the weapon so that the game is at least a game and not complete blowouts.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I think I want to see a good match. I'm always looking for fun, and so far the match quality has been amazing. So I'm just expecting this to get better and better.
All right, and I think that we should be starting soon, right? The bands are in. Looks like they are challenging each other right now.
Yeah. As long as Hearthstone doesn't glitch, we'll be starting really soon.
What decks do you expect to be coming out in this first game for us?
So if I were to guess here, I think we're going to see. I don't think FawdZ is going to bring his Paladin out early. I think he might just start with the Shaman. Good enough.
The Shaman looks definitely pretty good into the whole pool. Probably the worst against the other Shaman, to be honest. Just because it's like a
Yeah.
50-50 there. So I don't imagine Gark actually brings out his Shaman first, though, especially since queuing it to the Hunter is probably pretty bad for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine him going first with Rogue, most likely. Just a good opener and a good class all around. But it's hard to say. If you knew that FawdZ was going with his Shaman, then you should definitely queue in with a deck that beats it if you can. Or basically bring the best matchup.
sure. And
They have.
all right, it looks like the players got the message and they are loading in.
Yeah, it doesn't show up yet for me, but any point it might start. Yeah. Well, since we have a bit of time while we're waiting for them, I'm just going to mention play Warlock. It's so much fun right now. If you're not playing it, you're missing out. Warlock is super fun class with a really strong deck. And we are getting started.
Right. Let's see what we have queued up for game one.
It's SnakeFawdz Paladin versus the Shaman for GarkGus.
The complete opposite of what we said was probably going to happen.
Yeah,
Well, that just shows you how much we know. These players have gotten this far must know what they want to do, and it's obviously been working for them. So we
yeah,
shall see how this one goes.
yeah. I'm wondering what is GarkGus thinking with the mulligan. Okay, because the mulligan for this deck again. Look for the weapon. Do you have the weapon?
Yep. I'd say keeping the weapon. You keep the weapon tutor. I sometimes keep the lightning bloom in my hand, just because being able to play a weapon on turn 3 is so much better than playing it on 5. Well, 5 is good. 3 is just insane. But see,
Right.
it's not insane if you don't draw it. So
Yeah.
yeah, we see the critical draw of the 2/2 elemental getting this weapon into hand for GarkGus.
Yeah.
And this Mogu is both Mogus in hand actually. Kind of awkward right now, but being able to evolve them, like dealing 3 damage and then evolving into a 10 drop, is actually really good. Most 10 drops are pretty
Yes.
decent.
Yeah. Also, no real way to deal with it right now in the hand. You don't have Bear of, you don't have Libram of Justice, so it's not going to be great if that
Oh,
arrives.
although one thing we should point out is there is this Kobold Sticky Finger in the hand of SnakeFawdz. So GarkGus will get an evolve, but it's probably not going to involve either of the Mogus when he chooses to do
No.
so, playing on 5, presumably.
Can we talk about Risky Skipper here? Not this
Oh,
turn, but
I mean, you could play it this turn. I mean, and you don't expect the weapon to come down next turn, since if he had a
true.
lightning balloon, he probably would have played it last turn. But there is some merit to playing it now. No, I take that back. I don't like playing it now. You
No,
can't
I kind
really
of just want
clear
a
the board.
hoarder.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So you're going to need to sacrifice your own flinger if you want to clear everything.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? The
And
template
flinger's
is
so
not that
good.
important, but it's quite good if you need clears off of Libram of Justice. But also, he has the sticky finger, so if when your opponent plays a weapon, you play that, and then you're quite far ahead.
Yeah.
Most likely. I mean, depends what the evolve is, of course. So
Um,
I think that's an okay line to take, to just take the minions, the damage off the board, stop maybe like a Mogu somehow from coming down, and then getting evolved from the weapon. and then just going for the sticky finger on curve, evolving into a 6. Hopefully trading off the 5-drop from the Dread Corsair. I think it should be okay.
I hope you like my invention.
Okay. Choosing to go for the loot hoarder here as well. I do
Yeah,
think I like that plan.
there's no reason not to equip the I mean, there is only one Kobold Sticky Fingers in Snake's deck, and the
Yeah.
next turn probably adds up better when you do it this way, but unfortunately for GarkGus, he was met with an unfortunate fate.
Yeah, this is probably game. It's
Yeah,
going to be
I
really hard to catch up.
was gonna guess so. Also, there's some merit in not swinging with the weapon if you ran Sticky Fingers in your own Evolved Shaman deck, and you take it back for the last swing to break it, but
I love that.
that's not a thing that can happen here. So yeah,
No.
he just didn't want to see it,
Yeah.
and it was there, and that's all she wrote. This game
Also,
is
the armor goon, does it proc? I don't think it gets to proc.
I I want to say it procs, but um I don't know. I no, it definitely procs. It says whenever, and your weapon says after. So I'm gonna say that you do get the 5 armor for attacking
Okay.
with the weapon, and then it evolves it.
Mhm.
Not that he needs it, but
No.
why not?
Yeah. You're just
Uh,
going double Sawhet?
Interesting. Chooses to evolve the Solhet into a better minion. I don't think it really matters what he does at this point, but there you go. Those are minions that are not terrible. So I'm thinking
Yeah,
that
especially the Rafam is pretty good.
okay. Gark has some room here with the double Mogu maybe getting to evolve, or definitely getting to evolve one of them. It's gonna need to be like a Colossus of the Moon though,
That is
which
pretty
that is
bad.
not. Yeah, that's the second worst one. If you think that Rabbit is the worst, I mean, in that scenario, Rabbit's okay, but not really.
No. This is a win. The Paladin gets through the Shaman because Sticky Finger. That's one of the ways you can get through Shaman.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he was able to take the minions off the board with the risky skipper, so that when he played the weapon, he couldn't just make a huge board. That's the problem with sticky fingers. Is if your opponent makes the board while swinging with the weapon, and you play the sticky fingers, they still
Yes.
have a huge board left behind. But there was no board left behind from the weapon. It was just a free weapon. So
Yeah.
that was pretty locked up there.
Yeah. Shaman has this interesting thing that a few decks have. Rogue has it as well, where you really want to go second. Because you can do a lot of stuff with that coin. Just getting to be able to play your cards basically half a turn earlier. It's just so good. And Shaman
Yeah,
loves that. While other classes, well, Evolved Shaman really loves that. Rogue loves that because the coin can combo.
yeah. Rogues and being able to be on the coin with the extra card and the coin, really good. Shaman is actually pretty good too. Just being able to coin out the weapon one turn earlier, getting extra cards always nice. I'd say going second currently is not too bad.
Yeah.
Now in the old days where there's a lot of Highlander Hunter, going second is just terrible. You do not want to go second as
That's true.
against
Highlander Hunter,
it's like Highlander Hunter.
it's like one of the worst matchups in the game is to go second. Just there was this comment in the world after or during Worlds that someone posted. I forgot who it was, but someone said Silver Name just won the hardest matchup in Hearthstone right now, which is going second in the Highlander Hunter mirror.
Yeah,
And I really like that comment.
yeah, that's very true. That's Like, I swear, even if you have a slightly better start or hand than your opponent going second, the
No,
fact that you went second, it doesn't matter. Your hand has to
it
be
doesn't matter.
insane
You're going to
compared
lose.
to your opponent. Yep. Yeah.
Y-
But no
You can
Highlander
have
has
a
good
great
too.
turn. No.
You can have a great turn, exactly, but you need a lot of great turns to make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, here's the mirror we've all been waiting for.
Oof. This is some hot action.
So basically, it's going to come down to if they both draw the weapon, who can make the better swing, usually with a
Right.
broomstick, or one
Yeah.
person draws the weapon, the other doesn't, they win. So we'll see.
Yeah. If you have a broomstick, a lot of times you want to be the second one to play to get the evolve because getting the evolve second means a lot of times you're able to get the Mogu in, and a Mogu is nuts.
Yeah.
Completely nuts.
It's kind of like the old days where you would play Glaive Bound Adept, but you would in the Demon Hunter mirrors, but you would want to play your second, so you could Glaive Bound their Glaive Bound right
Yup.
back. So it's a
Yeah.
similar idea here with the shamans.
Yeah. Also Siamat there, Siamat. That was a thing in
Yes, that
Highlander
too.
Hunter.
Yep. You want the good trades, so that yours stick around. Theirs go away. So we'll see. Both have the weapon though, so it won't be a complete one-sided match here.
No. We do see the broom, which is a very important card here.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to rush
Oh.
your evolved minions in, very critical. Another broom. The revolve in SnakeFawdz hand, probably not the best in the mirror.
Hmm.
If you can play Desert Hair Revolve early, it's okay, but otherwise it's probably pretty unimpactful. Maybe you get some good value trades in Revolve, but it's like a pseudo heal. I
Yeah.
suspect it won't do too much.
You can use Revolve to complete the achievement. Play Revolve 14 minions at once.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that's an achievement they don't have. So he chooses to
Yeah.
play the
I
broomstick
really do not like
to
this.
clear the yeah. It it's okay if your opponent's totem shaman, but he's not.
No.
So that's interesting for sure. He wants to
Yeah.
coin the weapon out, but like your opponent also will have a weapon and just swing it back with their own broomstick. So, um, do, does SnakeFawdz know that Gark has a weapon in hand? He does, right? Because he played the cage match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very liberal use of the broomstick there, just clearing off one minion and having an extra minion to get evolved. And that
Agreed.
those are some decent minions you got there. Um, they survive, which I mean, he didn't do it. Gark just weapon pass, so they will always survive. But yeah, he can push a lot of damage to face and evolve this Mogu.
Moog. Would you
So
play the tour guide, or is the risk of just having that crazy totem become a doomsayer too high?
I don't think you ever play around that. I mean, you could not totem because you want less minions on the board, so your opponent can't Mogu you right back, maybe. But
Sure.
I don't think you don't play the minions just because of Doomsayer. You'd have to
Sure.
be ridiculously far ahead to do that. Like if your opponent's out of cards and in fatigue or something,
Right.
and then that's your only way you ever lose. It's reasonable, but here I think he could tour guide totem, or he could depends how he feels.
He does want to wait, probably for the reason you said that you don't want to play into Mogu.
Those are
Or a
two Divine Shield minions, which don't really get traded into by Broomstick minions very well.
no.
Those
Also
are really
Deathwing.
good. Also, Deathwing. That is a good point. These are going to need to be some pretty good rolls off of this evolve, I think, for GarkGus. Yeah, those. I can't tell. We'll have to see how the trades go down, but on first glance, it looks like not enough
Yeah, you
because
can kill everything but the 3/1, but you just need one minion to connect face because you can
yep,
equip that Horde Pillager. So unless they make a
exactly.
mistake,
Treasure?
Hmm.
Loot? What more can I
Well, it
that's
looks like that's yeah. SnakeFawdz just throwing the broomstick out in order to get an extra minion, and then he was able to use it to play Mogu on the turn he did, and then just having too much pressure for GarkGus to swing back. He couldn't evolve
right.
into good enough minions.
I'm still not sure I love that play because you could have gone with the tour guy. There were
Yeah, yeah.
probably better options than the broom. But
I agree. I agree.
strong showing here. SnakeFawdz is up to nothing. And he has his Hunter, which is probably favored against a lot of the decks on your opponent's lineup. There's a Shaman, there's a Warrior, and there's a Rogue.
Yeah. I think it'll be very difficult for Snake not to win one of these three matchups as Hunter.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I don't like his list, I agree.
I think that if it was more of an aggro Hunter, it would be better for GarkGus. But the fact that he doesn't need to stick minions on the board to win the game means that the tempo classes like Rogue and even Shamans to some extent, they can just die and
Yeah,
to cards from hand, which is bad.
yeah.
So we're gonna need to see some early pressure from the Rogue and the Shaman. I'm thinking if they want to get through for GarkGus to then set up a potential win. And it looks like they are queuing up here shortly.
hmm
I wouldn't be surprised if GarkGus queued the Bomb Warrior because he has probably the best chance there, but
watch?
maybe he doesn't. I wouldn't know.
Let the hunt begin.
He starts with Rogue, so going with probably one of the worst lineups.
Yeah. Although turn one, turn two, turn three, Edwin kinda is good against
Yeah.
Hunter, especially no Frisian trap. So
Let me work my
with
Um.
magic.
backstab plus one thief are very good to answer this one
Yeah.
too. But this double secret passage, it's not the best.
No. No.
I like the flick onto the combustion. Uh, there's a counter spell which doesn't do anything, and I don't even know what the third option was. So
Yeah. Not enough time to find that out.
kind of slow start from Snake after getting his first minion cleared from the board. But this toxic reinforcements in hand means that in 3 turns or 4, depending on if he tour guides or not, and or plays it, he'll have a lot of damage on the board and potentially
Yeah.
getting to GarkGus's face.
Those are a lot of face attacks. The Unleash the Hounds is also really good into Jandis. Um, Jandis typically, yeah, she can give you taunts, but a lot of times she won't.
True. Although there is one taunt in particular that would be quite annoying for Snake to deal with, and that's Greybow if we were to see it off of the Jandis.
Sure. I
Jandis has
Oh.
gotten quite good with each expansion. Just the potential high rolls for 5-drop is kind of insane.
Yeah, it can give fire or earth allies. It can give you Demon Hunter 5-mana 2/6 that keeps dealing damage to your opponent's minions.
Yeah. I like tempoing this blackjack stunner personally. You don't have secrets in your hand. You want the pressure out. I don't know what you're going to sap, but GarkGus disagrees. And
Yeah.
that quest is done. That is a fireball's worth of damage on the board.
Right. The Unleash is also looking so good here.
Yeah, I agree. This combustion, though, means he can keep pushing the minions to face and clear the board at the same time. So maybe he's all right. Depends how much more burn Snake is able to find these next couple turns.
Right. The second toxic reinforcements, it's a thing, but it's also so unlikely to matter.
Yeah, I agree. I think the game should be pretty decided at that point. I think one of the two is going to be dead.
Yeah.
I think these hounds and an all pointing face looks very appealing.
Yeah.
So, Nate, he doesn't have any damage in hand, although I guess the toxic reinforcements is a fair amount of damage in 2 turns. So maybe it might be relevant.
Well, 3 turns.
3 turns? Oh, did he played it? No, there's 1 out of 3 on it, so next turn 2. And the turn
Yeah,
after
but then it
3.
takes 3 turns
Oh,
to
but then they have
activate.
to activate. You're right. So we want a taunt minion off of this, I suspect. Those are pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what
Um,
you're looking for.
yeah, the 4-2 is decent, but it's not a taunt. So, okay. The face race is on.
It's
That
1 off.
is quite big, but
Yeah.
Snake needs to count the damage on the board. See if he's allowed to do this or not, or if he might want to Dragonbane hero power.
You can save with the Marcel Club, so you can just Dragonbane hero power here.
Yeah, that's true. That's a beast in your hand. So we have for Gark, there's 4, 8, 10, 13. So he'd somehow need to deal 6 if his entire board stuck around, which it's possible, but it's not likely. It's 2 Eviscence.
And you can trade 1 hound and you're fine.
Yeah, and we're only down to. Well, there's still 11, so you're still dead to double of this. But if this kills off a minion at all, then you're not. And yeah, I like that. I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's going to be very difficult for Gark to find something to not be dead next turn.
Yeah, it's not looking great. Is SnakeFawdz sweeping here?
Let's see what the secret passage has to say about that. We really needed
Swindle.
a shadow step and somehow a prep and to somehow get like a counter spell. And
Yeah. That's not happening.
I mean, Gark looks alive in theory, but unfortunately, not actually the case.
No, that cub is going to be enough. No good way to kill the Marsul cub. And that gets to hit face.
And now we just
Wow.
see if he spots it, which I am almost 100% sure he will. Yep. 5 plus 2 does equal 7.
With that, SnakeFawdz gets the win over GarkGus. Wow, congratulations, SnakeFawdz. Congratulations, NPH, for winning today.
And to be honest, I didn't have much faith in this Case Hunter. I thought in theory maybe it's a good idea, but it's probably not. But I just been proved wrong live. So congrats to SnakeFawdz. It's a good thing he was our representative and not me. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, I would not have brought Hunter, so
No, no, definitely not. I'm not bold enough.
no,
But,
I'm not that smart. Yeah, just a few shout outs here. I want to shout out to all the organizations and the players. Shout out SnakeFawdz for NPH for winning, Tincho, Eggowaffle, Lymphasis, RonMexico, Mad Doom, CoookieMonst, and GarkGus. All the participants and their respective organizations. Thank you for participating. And shout out, I mean, obviously, shout out to GarkGus. It's really hard in this lineup of players, so many insane players going this far. You got to be proud of what the result has been. Sorry. Yeah, let's take a final look at the bracket. So GarkGus, um, sorry, not GarkGus. SnakeFawdz made the win after they faced RonMexico in the semifinals and Lymphasis representing Swagoy. So yeah, the hardest match for SnakeFawdz was actually THL's RonMexico, and I don't know if they've played together before, if they know each other from THL, but I'm sure they've heard each other's names.
yeah, definitely. I think that Snake only dropping 2 games here really shows the strength of his lineup for sure. I think
Yeah,
that GarkGus himself, he did really well too. He had a more standard lineup, but uh, obviously just good play. He was able to get to the final, and unfortunately just could not keep up with what Snake had brought.
yeah, yeah, and it's Hearthstone. I mean, I still think SnakeFawdz was actually favored because he brought a very interesting twist in the lineup of going with this aggression where aggro has been heavily nerfed and no one's really expecting aggro. People are playing very anti-control lists, um, which paid off quite well. Yeah, and I think that is it for us today. Thank you everyone who participated. Thank you once more for all our viewers. I want to thank AgentPWE for being here with me, just sharing this amazing tournament.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everyone who's watching now to tune in tomorrow for the Battlegrounds portion of the Community Champions. We have the same organizations with their Battlegrounds representatives, and they will be playing, I believe, tomorrow on stream at THL as well as TDF at 7 p.m. ET. We will be having Based Inc. and Dragon Rider casting those 3 lobbies tomorrow.
That's something fun. Who are some of the representatives we can expect?
Yeah, so we have some well-known names here. We have Joaquin. He's typically a high legend player. He also probably plays a lot of some battlegrounds, but I wouldn't be too sure myself. I am not a pro battlegrounds player. But Lonenko for NoProsHere, he plays a lot of battlegrounds and participates in the tournaments, as well as Steffi and Itachi, and a lot of good players. Fowler too is a really good standard player, is a really good Battlegrounds player, and so I think there's a lot of talented players in the lineup tomorrow, and I think we'll have a lot of really good games.
Yeah. Definitely we'll have great games. Yeah, final thank you to Marty, NHL and JFan, for operating this amazing job. It's really hard doing a tournament like this, and I think it worked really well. Yeah, and so I believe that is it for us. There is there a match for Saturday Showdown coming up in THL land? Let me see whether Donde lined something up or not.
There is. In fact, I will be playing tonight on stream. There was also a match before me though, so you.
Oh yeah. There's Yellow Dart versus JR Juggernaut for Legacy and Silver Confident Conference. JR, who basically went insane last time in Legacy and is trying to do the same again. And they're followed by AgentPWE versus Mr. Python for Pro. That's an insane match. Pink Conference. So if you want both open and closed deck lists for Conquest format, join us tonight. I'm not going to be here, but Donde will. I think Tuna is also coming. So come around, have some fun. Yeah. And that being said,